Jump onto ballaratmobileforklifts.com.au. Check out all the services and follow the firewood link to order your BMF firewood. Ballarat Mobile Forklifts and BMF Firewood. Warmth delivered.
Zambrero is turning up the feel-good with the Nourish Plus range. Fresh kale slaw, house-made guac, sesame crunch and tangy pickled onions. Layered with flavour and balance in every bite. For a limited time only. Zambrero. Feel good next.
Maria has a problem.
I have a problem.
Her housewarming party is on tonight, but she hasn't got any appliances yet. She's got no fridge to store the drinks, no freezer for the nibbles, no washing machine to clean her favourite frock, and no TV to put the game on when people arrive. Lucky for her, Ballarat Appliance Warehouse offers same-day delivery, lay-by, and has great prices on everything she needs. Ballarat Appliance Warehouse, 1027 Howard Street, Wendouree.
Sure. Audio. It's more powerful than you think. What you hear can take you far from here. It can move you to dance, to run, to tears. It's all in your ears. For advertising with the power to make your whole campaign work harder, start with commercial radio and audio, where brands are heard. CRA.au.
When it comes to power, you don't want just okay. You want reliability, performance and confidence every time you fire up your machine. At R&J Batteries, we stock premium battery technology from leading global brands for cars, four-wheel drives, caravans, boats, motorcycles and more. Not sure what you need? Our expert team will match you with the right battery for your vehicle, lifestyle and budget. And get you powered up fast. Visit R&J Batteries today. R&J Batteries. Power like nothing else.
Get your build on a roll with Metroll Ballarat, because Metroll Ballarat is rolling forward with a brand new fleet, servicing a wider area with faster turnarounds. Inside the shed is a new flashings folder and Ballarat's only automated slitter, state-of-the-art and built for accuracy. Metroll is first in fencing and Blue Scope Colorbond steel roofing and rainwater products. Proudly local and with better service, better advice, better building solutions. Talk to Metroll Ballarat, 20 Wiltshire Lane, Delacombe.
Do you look just like your mum? Or know someone who's basically their mum's twin? This Mother's Day, 3BA is on the hunt for those undeniable genes, those mini-me's. Upload a photo of you and your mum for your chance to win big. A $200 spa voucher, $200 to spend at Stems Flower Market, plus a Fernwood 12-month reformer and infrared sauna membership valued at $3,000. Thanks to Fernwood, supporting women's health, fitness and well-being, all under one roof, 24/7. So if you're your mum's mini-me, upload your photo now at 3ba.com.au for your chance to win.
Struggling to get a decent night's sleep? Get comfy with Bedshed Ballarat's big brand sale. Save up to half price on leading brand mattresses, including Tempur, Sealy and Sleepmaker. Whatever the size and support you need, you'll find it at up to half the price. Plus, transform your bedroom with big savings across a range of furniture. Bedshed Ballarat's up to half price big brand sale. Limited time only, T's and C's apply. Bedshed, no one's better in the bedroom.
Stop till we let you. Now it's back to McDonald's BFNL action, thanks to our number one ticket holder, D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. This is 3BA Football.
Welcome back to 3BA, Footy's home ground, thanks to D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. Wins before the bounce, thanks to Stem Flower Market, make every day special. And thanks to our good friends at Stems. Our man Sam Trez's going to catch up with a legend of the Sebastopol Football Club, Tony.
I've got a legend, Sam. Chris Parker joins us here at Boundary Side. Chris, welcome to 3BA. Now, it's a beautiful night tonight, Sebastopol versus Redan. Of course, you are a former coach and president. What are you most looking forward to Saturday night footy tonight under lights?
Well, just such a beautiful night for football. I think two traditional Ballarat-based teams and beautiful night for football should be fantastic.
Sebastopol have obviously recruited quite heavily from St Joey's over the off-season, a powerhouse in the GFL, Joel Edwards, Jack Buckley, and also Felix Henderson. Can you tell us a little bit about them and how they ended up getting to the club?
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a snowball effect. Felix was the first one to get across the line, and then sort of one thing led to the other, and then Jack and Jake come along, but they're three fantastic players. They've certainly added a lot to the side. They're really good to watch.
Parks, Sam Young, the boxer, mate. Thanks for joining us here on 3BA Footy's Home Ground. We were actually on air talking a little bit about the Lakers early in the program, and we used Sebastopol as a talking point. Now, you were obviously present for a long period of time, and I referenced the 08 to 2017 period where the Borough, I think, only won 12 games in that period of time. But what kind of learnings can you, I guess, elaborate for our listeners at home about, you guys from an administrational point of view took out of that, troublesome times now to take the club moving forward? I mean, on top of the ladder, round 3 in the Ballarat League in 2026.
Yeah, well, it was a long time ago now, looking back, but it was a slow process to get the club back up from where it was. But there's a lot of things that fell into place. Certainly Shane Snipson coming on board as coach was one of the early real positive signs, and what Shane brought with him was good connections in with the North boys, and of course Tony Lockyer, an ex-junior of ours who was captain of North when the Roosters went out of business. Tony was a catalyst when he came back and brought 3 or 4 guys, Luke Keel and these guys back with him. So everything sort of fell into place, and we're really wrapped with where the club's at the moment. It's a really vibrant place to be, and we're a great young bunch of people, so it's fantastic to be around them.
Parks, Roger Legrand, and I don't want to talk you up too much because I know you'd be embarrassed, but what you've done with the footy club over such a long period of time has been absolutely extraordinary, and full credit to you, and I'm glad you're getting to, I suppose, see some of the benefits of both you and your wife's work over many years. This Saturday night time slot, this 6 o'clock start, and I know it's come about tonight because of Anzac Day, but you played one a couple of weeks ago. I reckon it's a winner looking at the crowd tonight. And I know we've got favourable weather, don't get me wrong, but is that something you would explore in years to come, particularly in the earlier part of the season?
Oh, I think so, Roger. I mean, early in the season particularly, we all know what the Ballarat's like once we get into late May and early June, but late March, early April, we had a fantastic 2 weeks ago against East Point, and the weather was really pretty ordinary that night, so if it had been a night like tonight, it could have been even better. But there's no doubt it's a winner, and we'd be keen to play as many as we can early in the season.
Yeah, I can confirm I called that game here, Parks, and it's 100 times better here tonight than it was back in round 1 against East Point, where it was absolutely freezing on that famous balcony. But we'll let you go and wish you the best of luck for season 2026 with Sebastopol.
Yeah, it's certainly a better night tonight. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. So thanks to our good friends at Stamps Player Market, our man Sam Treasure grabbing Chris Parker for a quick chat about all things Sebastopol here in reserves match.
Just in case you weren't sure, that was a siren.
Yeah, reserves match just finished, guys, if you didn't know at home. The final score was Sebastopol 14-10-94 defeated Redan 3-4-22. We're going to take a break. Thanks to our number 1 ticket holder, D2E Gym. You're listening to 3BA Footy's Home Ground.
We know times are tough and balancing the family budget can be stressful. So at 3BA, we'd love to help with PT's Bill Busters. Across the month of April, simply upload a copy of a bill you'd like paid to our website, 3ba.com.au. And each Friday in the big show, it could be your bill selected to be busted. You've got nothing to lose and bills to be busted, so start uploading now. It's PT's Bill Busters all across April, thanks to Ballarat Security Operations, Stroud Homes Ballarat, and the station with cash to splash. 3BA.
Go Harvey Norman for 10% in bonus gift cards. Until Monday only, get 10% of your purchase price in bonus gift cards when you spend $500 or more on selected products. Shop TVs and fridges, laptops and mobiles, furniture, bedding and more. Spend $500 or more on selected products and get 10% in bonus gift cards. Best brands, best range, best prices and 10% in bonus gift cards. Hurry, offer ends Monday at Harvey Norman. Do not miss out. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. Gift card valid for 1 month.
Cold weather is closing in on Ballarat. Be ready before it hits. Ballarat Mobile Forklifts now delivers BMF firewood, while still doing all the usual work: on-site construction, pallet deliveries, truck loading, spa removals and more. Stay warm this season. Jump onto ballaratmobileforklifts.com.au. Check out all the services and follow the firewood link to order your BMF firewood. Ballarat Mobile Forklifts and BMF Firewood. Warmth delivered.
When it's time to get the job done, make it easy, make it effective. Talk to Metrol. Metrol manufactures and supplies high-quality steel roofing, fencing and building products built tough for Aussie conditions. Need fencing? Trust the experts. Choose from a huge range of Blue Scope colour bond panels, profiles and colours. Proudly local and with better service, better advice, better building solutions, you're in good hands. Metrol Ballarat, 20 Wiltshire Lane, Delacombe.
Being a soldier was my whole life. I didn't realise just how hard it would be to transition to civilian life. I ended up couch surfing for a bit and living out of my van. That's when I met Tio from the RSL. They helped me find a place and get back on my feet.
Support veterans and their families. Donate today. anzacappeal.com.au.
Tonight, Tats Lotto is an estimated $6 million. Hurry, grab an entry now. Wouldn't it be nice?
Gamble responsibly. Gamblers Help 1-800-858-858.
Cheer on the Ballarat Miners and be part of the NBL 1 South action as we take on Keilor tonight and Frankston tomorrow at Selkirk Stadium. Tonight, the Ballarat Miners women hit the court from 5:30pm and the men from 7:30pm, brought to you by Selkirk. Then tomorrow, the action starts from 12pm, thanks to Power FM. If you want to watch action-packed basketball, tickets are on sale now from tickettech.com.au or at the door. Let's fill Selkirk Stadium. We are Ballarat.
The 40 Winks Mates Rates sale is on now. Mates Rates? Yep. Sign up as a 40 Winks member and get up to 50% off mattresses and up to 30% off furniture. Sounds like 40 Winks has our back. They sure do, with top brands and exclusive products. And it's free to join. With over 100 locally owned and operated stores across Australia, 40 Winks is serious about sleep. Limited time only. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. 40 Winks. Serious about sleep.
Visit your locally owned and operated 40 Winks store at 121 Learmonth Road, Wendouree.
Choosing a secondary school is one of the most important decisions your family will make. At Damascus College, we believe in educating the whole person within a welcoming Catholic community. Join us for our open night on Thursday, 30 April from 4:30pm to 6:30pm. Experience tours, displays, demonstrations and presentations, meet our students and staff and explore the opportunities available. Register today at damascus.vic.edu.au and see what Damascus could mean for your child's future.
Want to boost your health, feel fitter and make a difference to sick kids? Join Starlight's Super Steps Challenge and walk 10,000 steps a day in May. Every step you take will help make hospital a
Home to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. This is 3BA Football.
Welcome back to 3BA, Footy's home ground. Thanks to D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. As we're going to go straight down to the ground, as is, of course, Anzac Day, and Sebastopol holding their Anzac Day proceedings here at the beautiful Barty Bush Reserve.
It's our pleasure to have Kevin Scott from the Sebastopol RSL club here today. I'm going to hand it over to Kevin.
Just a few formalities still to go through here, but we are almost ready to get started here at the Barty Bush Reserve for the Anzac Day proceedings here. As of all players, A-grade netball and reserves are lined up.
Hundred-odd players, the umpires all out there together.
Representative from the armed services by the looks of it too.
Yep.
Seems we're having a few audio issues, unfortunately, down the ground level, but we're trying to see if we can work that out. But yeah, great to see everyone is lined up here to pay respects to our fallen diggers.
Netball is part of it as well, and that's just what we were talking about earlier in terms of that club connection amongst the Bass.
Spine-tingling stuff. Thank you, Ian. As Steve's master of ceremonies gets us underway. But back here, we're at the Marnie Bush Reserve, of course. It is Sebastopol taking on Redan. Round 3 action in the Ballarat Football Netball League. Brad McGowan for One Life Insurance. I want to hear your thoughts on the contest this afternoon, what you're expecting to see, and who maybe we can keep a close eye on to today for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day.
Yeah, righto, Sammy. And even just before I get to that, just to add to the picture, there is so many people here everywhere. Yep. There is at least 2, if not 3 rows of cars right around the ground. Wonderful atmosphere. So if you're not doing anything, get along to the Marty Bush Reserve today, because we've got a fantastic game of footy here ahead of us. Well, Sebas have started 2-0. They're on top of the ladder. And looking really good. They're a team that is sort of from 3rd to 6th in most of the stat categories, 3rd in total possessions and handballs. They're number 1 from throw-in clearances, and they're just a well-coached team. Tony Lockyer and his coaching crew, including Shane Snipson, they're just really good at taking away the opposition's strength. And we talked about Alex Keith. We called Alex Keith for Ballarat in the first game, and he controlled the game from centre-half back. Well, against North Ballarat. But Sebas were really good at saying, no, we're going to play a defensive forward on you, you're not going to have an influence, and you would have seen boys didn't get in the best, didn't have much of the ball, etc. They're also really good at just locking down the opposition's best players, and so one of their strengths is their coaching. But also, it's these 3 new players that have been mentioned already, but I just need to highlight. Felix Henderson comes in He's a smooth-moving inside midfielder, tall left footer, averaging 31 possessions per game, 9 clearances. And boys, he's come in as one of the better players in the competition from St Joey's. And like if you pick the team of the year right now, he would definitely be in that team. Another player that's a real star is Jack Buckley at centre-half back. And he's not necessarily key defender tall. He's more sort of third tall height. But he's really creative in his run and carries. He's the sort of player that marks the ball at centre-half back, kicks it into the middle of the ground, hits the hard kick, then goes past, gets it again, gets another kick. He just gets multiple possessions, and they're also attacking. So those two are absolute stars of the competition who are setting up scores. Add to that Jack Branby, Toby Hutt, Luke Keel. They've just got this abundance of players in this Sebastopol side, and they're having a bit more luck with injury this year, boys.
Yeah, it's definitely made a difference. I mean, probably realistically out of their best 22, and at the minute they're probably missing only Bailey Medwell and Lockie Cassidy. You definitely obviously find a spot for those two superstars. I think they're pretty much close to as full strength as they can be going into this one against Redan, who on the flip side, Brad, are not in the same position whatsoever.
No, that's right. We heard Mark Gregg, a coach of Redan, mention earlier that Jacob Lurch, who missed all last year, he's their captain and key defender. He somehow broke his finger and his toe in the same game in round one and still isn't back from that. And Brodie Pope chopped the end of his thumb off on a drop saw midweek. And Brodie Pope's the big loss, boys. Like, he's been averaging 12 clearances per game and over 30 possessions. He's just racking up the football constantly as an inside mid. He's a real leader of that group, so I think he's a huge loss. As is Lockie Bond, who got the 3-week suspension after he was involved in a late hit, a marking contest, concussed the player that he hit. And so Lockie Bond, their full forward, their leading goal kicker, is going to be a massive miss for them, plus Geordie Grant. So those four in particular, pretty significant outs for what is a young and inexperienced Redan side.
Yeah, you're certainly right. You just can't replace those hundreds of games of footy experience that they have, playing at senior footy. Whereas, Sebas, as I said, they've got a nice nucleus of mixed of young and old. When you bring in the 3 guys from the St Joey's Footy Factory that straighten them up in all 3 lines. Henderson particularly, you look at him and think, he's a good outside player, but his inside numbers this year have been impressive on a small sample size. But it's number 2 in the comp percent of clearances at 4.5, number 3 in clearances overall. He's 3rd in disposals. He's number 1 for loose ball gets in the competition as well. So what that tells me, he's a guy that can get on the outside and use it well, but also he's not afraid to get his own footy macker.
Yeah, I totally agree. And just from Redan's point of view, they've still got plenty of star players. Like Rory Gunser is a fantastic ball user off half-back, racks up the footy, is involved in the Geelong VFL program. So Gunser for Redan will be a really important player. We've already spoken about Taj Bond, the young developing key forward/ruck. He kicked 5 goals for Redan. Each time we've called him over the last couple of years, he's done some really special things. We think he's certainly a star of the future, if not star of today here in the Ballarat Football League, but maybe a higher level beckons. Harry Lawson's the sort of player that you just want to play with, makes you walk tall because of his effort. Someone like Liam Hoy will do the same. Ollie Pittard's a really exciting young outside player, winger, half forward who kick goals today and do some special things. Grant Bell's that sort of clever forward. So they've got plenty of up-and-coming young players in this side and a bit of experience to go along with them. It's just whether they can match it with Sebas, who have sort of been developing and are probably that 2 or 3 years ahead in terms of development.
You can say that even if you would never seen a game of Ballarat football tonight and you arrived now and you looked at the two teams as they warm up on the ground.
Yeah.
Look at the noticeable body size difference in Sebastopol as opposed to Redan. And that can mean, Redan has got some smaller quick players, don't get me wrong, but just body size, and you take out probably the one bloke that can compete on that level in Pope.
Yeah.
And it puts a lot of pressure on Gunser and some of those other strong users of the ball who can keep their head over the footy and win it to win those clearances, and that might be the difference.
Particularly when you lose someone like Lockie George, who would have been a guy that would have gone on the inside as an inside mid.
Yep.
He's a loss for them. So they're going to find it hard today to win enough clearances, I think.
Do they flirt with the idea of a guy like Rory Gunser going inside?
Yeah.
I think that's. I know. You look at it. Probably was trying to do the VFL program with Geelong as well. It's very much outside dominance. But predominant. But maybe tonight's an opportunity where they go, well, we're a little bit short in that area. I know Greggy in the pre-game mentioned that, he really likes young Cole Hodgson. Only his second game of year for a 17-year-old. He's tough as nails, but that's a massive task to go head-to-head against the likes of Henderson,
Keel,
who have got, some really quality football years behind them. I think
Banbury's been a superstar.
Averaging 30 disposals a game this season. I feel like you're just throwing a kid to the wolves there. That's my personal opinion.
I agree.
I think if Liam Hoy was capable as well, especially in the start and end quarters, I would just say to him as well, just have a body around there. But I just worry that they could get just absolutely slaughtered tonight.
Well, I think, as you said, Brad McGowan, they need to get him on the outside. If Redan are going to win this game, they need to get it on the outside. That's where they win it.
I agree. So you would be talking to your rucks and saying, hey, can you hit the ball to the outside as much as possible to try and get it out there? But, they don't necessarily have that one big-bodied mid in there. But they do have plenty of speed on the outside, so that'll be their own.
Sammy Treasure's been able to get out and immerse themselves in the Marty Bush Reserve's ground conditions. Sammy, what do you think of conditions tonight at the Marty Bush Reserve?
It's beautiful here at the Marty Bush Reserve. The night sky is upon us here at Sebastopol. I can't even really comment anymore, gents. There's not even a zephyr of wind, so should be an absolutely brilliant night for footy.
Can you give me a tip though, Sammy? Who do you think wins this one and why?
I think Sebastopol just get over the lines. I mean, I've really liked their 3 recruits from Joey's. Obviously, Felix Henderson had 36 last week, a massive impact. And I just think they're playing some good footy to start the year.
Sammy T, one of the things that can change environmentally wise at night is that it can get a little bit slippery. I don't think it is slippery at all out there. Can you tell us that?
No, it's not slippery,
so
Brad.
There's no sort of dew. All right, so we should be able to play a really high-level game of footy here tonight, so that's great to hear.
It's good to see the players are now making their way into position. Looks like Savats will be kicking to the slightly favoured end, the Velodrome end, if there's any end tonight, but as Sammy Treasure mentioned, it's pretty much picture perfect here tonight at the Marty Bush Reserve. Brad McGowan, who do you think who wins this one tonight in your humble opinion?
I think Sebast would be favourite by, say, 4 goals, so I'll go with that, youngie.
Roger LeGrand?
Yeah, I'm with Sebast too.
I've got Sebast by 40 plus personally. I just think Redan on the out front, too much cattle to cover. However, they have a good record against the Borough, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mark Gregg's still got some more tricks up his sleeve. He's had a fantastic start as coach in the Ballarat Footy League. He pushed Sunbury to the limit last week. He knocked off Lake Winder in his first time out. Can he impress us under lights as coach of the Redan Football Club? Players in position, we're in position, and we're ready to go here at the Marty Bush Reserve. Brad McGowan.
Barry Lawson for Redan, who's gone inside. Now, as we said, he's the sort of player you do walk taller to have around there. He tackles, he puts elite pressure on. He generally does that as a forward. He's played a lot of good Rebels footy. He's a high accomplished footballer.
Daniel Bond in there as well. There's a slightly bigger body.
Yep.
Lockie McLean on a wing as well. That's a strange one for me. But I guess getting the experienced players around, I don't mind it. Just little things that we probably didn't expect from a starting point of view here tonight. As it's round 3 action, it's Sebastopol taking on Redan. Hutt versus Bond, and we're ready to go here under the beautiful night lights. Hutt will try to get the first knockdown. In the end, he just tried to rush it forward for Sebastopol. Left foot kick towards half forward. Bouncing ball will work it. Okay. Hurry kick from Little Hales going to the pocket for the Borough. They're trying to keep it alive. Does the dangerous and creative Forbes. All very close to the boundary line. Sebastopol trying to keep it alive and create a chance. In the end, the umpires picked their free kick going the way of Redan as they'll be able to exit defensive 50.
Be interesting to see whether Redan play that switch game, Brad McGowan. They've got it over in that back pocket, or do they kind of play it safe and go down the line? In the end, they're going to come through the middle of the ground, quite dangerously, I must say. Sebastopol player went to ground at the crucial time, which allowed Batruni to come through. Got a handball back in the direction of Rory Bell. His kick is a poor one, turned over in the middle of the ground. Sebastopol with the numbers, and it's that man Buckley. He drives long towards full forward. Pack will fly through the hands of Minari. Ball goes to ground. Forbes is in there trying to collect the footy. He almost fought with a teammate in the end, and looks like the umpire's going to come in and ball the ball up in the forward pocket. Velodrome end. 1 behind Sebastopol. Redan yet to score on the Metro scoreboard.
Sebast's very attacking with their ball movement, straight down the middle. And, hey, we talked about some of Sebast's better players. We didn't mention Forber, the leading goal kicker in the competition already, boys.
The human highlight reel. That's his own nickname. Back on the way inside 50 here for the Borough. Opportunity coming through there was Buckley trying to create some havoc one. I think high kick will exit in his direction. Should be marked, and it is by Sebast as they can repel inside 50. Hummelhoff, the left foot kick, will hit the hot spot. Minari, the fly, his arms chopped. Yes, says the umpire. Shot on goal coming up for Sebas.
Actually took him quite high, I thought, with that arm swing. He's a bit groggy getting up, Brad McGowan.
He is. Just interestingly, again, the Sebastopol movement, just aggressively back through the corridor, not mucking around, getting it to an attacking position where they're far more likely to score from.
So it's Joel Edwards, 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Has got 3 goals in 2 games. He's
nice size, isn't he?
He is a good size. One thing he has that issue, though, is putting him between the big sticks. Ranked 2 on the comp for behind. Not to put on the mocker on him early, but he has struggled to do this. Can he start his night well? Right foot kicks on its way. Oh, it's perfect. And the first blood goes the way of Sebastopol. They move on the Metro scoreboard 1-1-7 to Redan yet to score.
Redan haven't had the ball inside their forward half yet. Sebas have been very good defensively as well. Like Roger, you mentioned, hey, can Redan switch the ball? They just couldn't because Sebas had really good positioning that meant that Redan had to take a risk. They were one-on-one all over the field. They tried to go through the middle and just in the end couldn't move the ball out of their back line. So well done to Sebas early on.
So the first goal of the night going the way of the Borough in front of a big crowd here at Marty Bush on 3BA for D2E Gyms. Ruck's back underway. Strong hit out from Bond from Redan. Ball goes to ground and it looks like it's going to force a repeat stoppage. So as Brad McGowan indicated pre-game, 2 and 3 cars back on the fence level on the outer side of the ground here. Play back underway. Picked up by Petruni. Got it back to Big Taj Bond and a big shot at goal from outside 50. Is it coming back enough? I didn't know big men could kick like that. What a great goal. Taj Bond. All 200 centimetres of him, took the ball in the middle and straight to the high little.
Well, we talked about how exciting this kid. He was in the ruck, taps it forward, goes to, he hit it, say, 10 metres forward. It went to a mid-forward player who picked it up, and the next bloke, the fastest bloke to lead the stoppage was the bloke that won the tap. Bond just charged past everyone, got to the top of 50 and went bang.
Great response by Redan, and check out the highlight reel throughout the week. I reckon that will feature Taj Bond doing it all himself. The human pencil levels the scores here on the Metro scoreboard. As we're back underway, Bond has gone forward, so Hutt has the advantage in the ruck, but only knocked as far as Lawson as Redan come through the stoppage with the right foot kick to half forward. It's a good kick too. Mark taken by Kaleo. He'll play on immediately and thump it forward in towards the draft direction. Here comes Bond! He did everything but hold on to the end. Had a good piece of it, boys, but umpire let him down, didn't pay the mark.
Well, he's got a significant height advantage. He'd have nearly a foot on his opponent, and gee, I thought he did take that in the end.
Gee, I thought he had a good piece. Bad luck. Keel with the hand pass, got it towards Hutt, and in the end he's walked over the line, and we'll get a ball in 35 metres out inside forward 50 for Redan.
1 goal apiece on the Metro scoreboard. We've played nearly 5 minutes in this first quarter. Under lights at Marty Bush Reserve. Ball comes back into play. Bond doing the ruck work in the forward line for Redan. Shark by the Sebas defence. Buckley it was. Kicked long in the direction of Barker. Edwards went back courageously, and I thought Barker was unlucky not to get a free kick in the circumstances. Umpire said no, play on. Ball spills to ground. Contested ball situation. And it looks like Redan walked through. Gunser will win the ball, but the boundary line bit him and it's spilled over. A bit of a scuffle breaks out in front of the Sebastopol box there. Brad, what do you think? Should have been a free kick to Barker on the wing there?
I think he might have just been, the player that flew may have just been able to touch the ball, but I tell you what it did, it got everyone up and about, didn't it? The rest of the players then went, hey, if that's the standard, I've got to be part of it.
True centre wing broadcast side, one down by Hutt. From Toby down to Ben, and Ben's high up on the kick, will be paid the mark. Umpire waves play on, and it's Redan have numbers at the fourth pack, and that's a handball was a touch. It'll be a question. It was touched, so it won't be a lasso free kick. We'll get a boundary throw, and I think Sebas had a case to say, well, was there a fingertip on it or not? We should have a free kick, but they don't. Taking inside centre wing, though. We'll get a ball in. Hutt in the ruck in front. Takes position. Beats Cruiseradas to it, but quick kick coming forward there from Redan was good by McKay. Just a dribbling ball towards the half-forward line. Lockyer, hand pass towards O'Shea, first game of 2026. He did about 3 metres to no one. And in the end, slapped out of bounds by the young Cole Hutchison in game 2 of senior footy for him. He's seen it out of bounds.
So young Ben Crellin doing the second rucking, I suppose you'd say, Mac. A big ask for him against the experienced Toby Hutt, giving away a bit of height too.
Yes, he was full forward of my school team last year. I never thought of him as a ruck, but here he is at senior footy.
And he went the head out too, which is fantastic, and went down in the way of a teammate in Hutchinson. Ball spills to ground, strong tackle. Could have been a free kick to Sebastopol. The umpire called play on. Ball comes back to the experienced Keel. Beautiful handball over to Fletcher. His handball missed the target. Keel goes back in to try and win it for Sebas. Strong body contact on the line, and Gunser cleans up Redan. Could have been a high free kick, and the ball spills out of play right in front of the Sebas bench here at Marty Bush Reserve.
It was off feet, so the umpire said lasso, free kick way of Redan, and they retreat back in the direction of Lawson. He wants to switch towards the outer side. The kick's got to be good. He's asking a bit there, Vetruny. In the end, hits the deck. Sebas on the rebound through the corridor. Right foot kick to half forward. It's an absolute ripper. Mark taken there by Edwards. Right on the paint. Looks to set it up. It's a good kick, but in the end, getting back in the hole. Sebas unable to find the target. Redan intercept in their own defensive 50. As we played 7 minutes in the opening term, Metro scoreboard reads at 1 goal apiece, 6. As they'll go towards the outer side in the night sky. Redan looked to build it up towards centre wing on the outside. Should be opportunity for Cruiseranas. Brings to the ground. Now Pittard on the run. Takes a bounce. Takes a second bounce. Streams inside 50. Lines up the goal. And there's your goal of the day. Wonderful finish. A big celebration. 2 great goals to Redan. They have the lead 2 goals straight 12 to Sebastopol's 1 goal straight 6.
Well, we talked about Ollie Pittard's speed and ball use before the game. That's a beautiful example there. His nudge, he was on centre wing, as you mentioned. He just read the ball better than his opponent, nudged him under it, ran onto it, 2 bounces and a goal. He's the sort of excitement machine that can do that all day. We've said that if Redan are going to win this game, they need to use the ball on the outside. That's a classic example. And even though Sebas have done well to try and stop them switching, Redan have switched the last 2 times and got the ball inside 50. They're looking a chance. They're looking up and about.
What I really liked about that, Brad, while we wait for the ball to come back, was that Pittard backed his speed.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't look over his shoulder and see who's behind. He said, whoever's behind me, I'm taking them on, and kicked, as Sam Young said, an early contender for goal of the night. Play back underway. Hutt didn't even jump that time, just stood his ground and grabbed the footy, which was very cleverly done. So Sebas win the clearance forward through Henderson. No mark down forward, ball spills to ground. What has Sebas got in those scrum stake? Forbes is obviously a regular down there. He's been beaten early tonight. Redan are able to clear, and clear well with some run. Which is like what we like to see. It's Catley out there on the outer side for Redan. Long kick up the middle, but unfortunately missed the target, and Buckley gets back to take the mark for Sebas.
Good starting positions by Buckley. Just read it better.
Well, he might put one down the corridor. No, goes to half forward. Dangerous ball, but the kick was perfect. Mark's taken by Sebas. They play on immediately. As Fletcher dances the burst on the mark. Right foot kick to the lead and finds the target. Edwards again at full stretch, and he's just been a handful. Too big and too strong for Barker. It's an early worrying sign behind the footy.
But it's so important for Sebas, with Buckley being able to do what he did there. He had better starting positions, he marked it, and then he didn't just chip it laterally. He went 50 metres straight towards goal. They get the mark. They're in such an attacking position, it's hard to defend. He just sets up goals. Brilliant football.
So Joey's boys at the Footy Factory there having a fine start under lights here at the Marty Bush Reserve. So the level of scores, Edwards for his second. Starts his approach down the run road. The white foot kicks on its way, and he's missed to the outside. So 1-1-7 on the Metro scoreboard. That's Sebas trailing Redan 2 straight 12.
Very interestingly, Brad, when Edwards kicked that shot of goal, he kicked it with his right foot from the left-hand flank, and when he had a shot from the left-hand side earlier, he kicked with his left foot. So obviously quite proficient on both feet.
Should do it the other way around, I would have thought.
Modern day player.
As Bond marks on the half-back flank for Redan, he's got nothing up the lines. It goes backward. I don't even know whether that kick went 10 metres, let alone 15, but the umpire said, no, I'm happy with that, as Gunster takes a mark for Redan, comes up the line, finds Vetruny, dropped what he should have taken. Strong body contact from Lawson, and that enables Redan through Vetruny to win the footy. He kicks up the line, and look who's getting back there. Once again, Tony Lockyer, the Sebas coach, takes a good mark. Plays on quickly, finds a teammate in Banbury with one glove on tonight. Jack goes inboard into the middle of the ground. Henderson now streams forward. Got the 2 jumpers on Henderson. Kicks long with that left boot. What a kick from Henderson. Just missed to the left-hand side. Sebastopol behind. 1-2-8. Redan 2 straight on the Metro scoreboard.
There's the ball movement by Tony Lockyer again. Bang, straight through the middle. Being aggressive. Exciting footy.
There's exciting footy here under lights at the Marty Bush Reserve. As Redan will come towards the broadcast side with the right foot kick. Bond, the tallest man in the pack, but it won't get there. Nice mark taken there by Sebas. And once again by Edwards.
Left or right, Brad?
It's a luxury. He goes right this time. And in the end, he's turned it over. Maybe should have gone left. Mark taken in defence there by Liam Hoy getting back. It's just so great to see him back in Redan colours as he goes towards true centre back and finds Taj Bond. Kicks off the instep down the middle of the Marty Bush Reserve. Turnover. Banbury spits it wide towards half forward, and again, he has his own footy there at the minute. Does Edwards as he takes the mark, 60 from goal. Short.
Lovely left.
Short ball finds his target, and the Borough go into the pocket. It's going to be perfect. It's not. It's off the knee, so it won't be out in the full. And we'll get a ball in 35 metres out inside 50 for Sebas.
I think Redan need to do something about Edwards marking the ball. That's a centre-half forward that's marked the ball 5 times already.
Well, he's ranked number 3 in the comp for marks inside 50. He's taken 6 in both games thus far.
Toby Hutt grabbed it out of the ruck and was tackled straight away. Snap came back off the boot of Nari back towards the goal square. Redan good enough with numbers to clean up, and they've kicked the ball away to the outer side. Now just trying to hold up play a little bit. It's Bell out there. Takes a bounce. Takes a second. Kicks long towards half forward, but Tony Lockyer just gets in that gap and takes a mark on his chest in the end. Comes inboard, and Brad McGowan's highlighted to us that they intend to go through the middle, and Banbury's kick is a good one. Finds that man, Minari. He's outside 50. Kicks to an open forward line in the direction of Edwards, but just dropping back over there. Looks like it's Garner, I think, who's marked 30 metres out directly in front.
He's just got too much space at half forward, the Sebas forwards at the moment. Redan are getting numbers back, but they're pushing back, say, within 25 metres of goal, whereas Sebas are noticing those players are back and hitting up those leads that are, say, 40 to 60 metres out from goal.
So Garner will start his approach, but as you said, Roger LeGrand, about 30 metres out directly in front. To put the Borough back in front on the Metro scoreboard if he can convert. Right foot kicks on its way, and it's good. It's between the big sticks. Sebastopol 2-2-14 on the Metro scoreboard. Redan 2 goals straight, 12. A 2-point lead, and early telling signs behind the footy, Brad McGowan, is Tony Lockyer doesn't have that direct matchup that sometimes he gets at half back, that defensive forward, and I think Mark Rick should know him well enough. I think they might need to put someone next to him just for the next 5 minutes though, because he's on a bit of a leash, off a bit of a leash.
Yeah, I agree. The Redan forward line is so young. They're talented. There's some real class out there, but the Sebas players, the old wily veteran like Tony Lockyer, can just read that ball a bit better. So I agree. They probably need to put someone on him because he's been proving to be dangerous at the moment.
Back on the way, 14 minutes gone in the opening term here under lights at the Marty Bush Reserve. Bond won it down, but only towards half forward. It was Bambury for Sebas getting back. Handball receivers good to Lockyer. Can think about a bounce, decides to go with a more direct kick, and why wouldn't you when you can lace plays out like that? Beautiful pass, mark is taken there by Sebas as they go inside forward 50 through Little Hales towards full forward, and the mark is taken by Sebas about 15 metres out.
I'm sorry to say, that was men against boys all the way through there. Contested marking, but set up again by Lockyer's brilliant kick. Cooper Littlehales was badly called, but he's one of the best developing key forwards in the game.
So Ashmanari it is, around 20 metres of goal on the slightest of angles. Pretty easy kick in the end. Another goal to Sebastopol, and they go to 3 goals to 20. Redan 2 straight 12 on the Metro scoreboard. I'm just looking at the defence of Redan, and there's no size about it at all. And you talked about making that move early off Barker on Edwards, but I don't know who the alternative is, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, you're right. With Jacob Wirtz, their skipper, out injured, he would be the guy that would be playing those roles down there. So they're missing him, and then they're obviously with Lockie Bond out in the forward line. It means that they're then a bit undersized at that end as well.
And it's big asks for young Cleo or Chadwick maybe as the next tools to go down there, and only a handful of games between them. But Redan doing well in the clearance states. Bond again will now send it inside 50 towards that man Cleo. He couldn't take the mark. A ground level opportunity coming through there was Petruni. He couldn't quite gather. Handball receivers off the Bell. The crafty forward. Right foot snap. Just needs the distance because he's got the bend. And Bell on the line. Now it's hard.
Fantastic. And the young Kaleo you've mentioned, I've really been impressed by him. He's leading aggressively at the football. He was able to get that ball to ground. And then Grant Bell, the old wily vet, fantastic to see him back playing after being out all last year with that ACL injury. Just steps onto the right and puts it through.
Goal umpire made me wait, but it was a wonderful finish and snapping. The 3 Redan goals, take it bow. They've been rippers. First Bond, then Pittard, and now Bell. 3 absolute goal of the night contenders, you have to say.
Absolutely. Could be Littlehales taking his turn in the ruck now for Sebastopol. He's obviously there. Back up ruck for the 9. He's got a job on his hands with Big Taj Bond, who's been dominant. And as I speak, Cooper Littlehales jumps over the top of him and goes streaming forward. Good on him. Wasn't able to pick up the foot in. He's ended up giving away a free kick. It'll go the way of Gunster for Redan on the back line of the centre square.
Inside to start that stoppage.
That's right. So Gunster kicks in short and finds Bond. Bond plays on, kicks up towards half forward. The last goal kicker in the game, Grant Bell, takes a mark and says, I'm going to play on quickly, and kicks beautifully in short. And look at the work rate of Taj Bond. So contested the ruck in the middle, worked hard forward, and now he's going to kick from about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
What modern-day ruckmen have learned to do is, at a centre bounce, as soon as a free kick is given, you just go. You charge forward. That's exactly what he did then. He got to 20 metres out and then came back at the football. His opponent was nowhere near him.
So for 2 in a row for Redan, the lead restored for them. At the 70-minute mark of the opening term, from about 40 metres out, we're right behind this kick in the best seats in the house, thanks to our good friends at D2E Gym. Yeah, we charge Bond. Right foot kick. It's on its way. It's not going to register a score. It may not make the distance. It might be marked on the line by the Lions. In the end, off Hanster and through for their first blemish of the evening. 3 goals, 1-19. That's Redan trailing Sebastopol 3-2-20 on the Metro scoreboard.
So straight down the middle from Buckley. The kick out, but he's turned it over straight back to Lawson from Redan, who's marked inside the centre square. So 18 minutes ticked over now. Kick goes inside the forward line. It's missed its target, and it'll trickle out of bounds on that far side here at Marty Bush Reserve. If you've just joined us, Sebast 3-2-20. Redan 3-1-19 on the Metro scoreboard.
Sebastopol, the number 1 ranked team after the first 2 weeks for effective kickouts. That might have been their worst one of the season, was Buckley just wobbled it out of the fence straight to the chest of Redan. Ball in, fisted forward by Bond, inside 50 for Redan. Somehow Lockie got off the Banbury, outside the boot, screw punt kick will go towards the outer side. Off the shins, this will be one of those lasso free kicks. It's going to go the way of Redan. So he'll continue to pile on the pressure here. After Sebas got a little skip away and they've been able to draw it back. Lateral ball's a good one, finds its way to Hoy. Taking side of centre wing on the outside as the Lions can load another one up. Able to use the stand rule to his advantage and pump it inside 50, looking for Bond, who's nudged underneath it cleverly by his direct opponent. At ground level, McKay was smart, just continued to knock it forward. Handball inside was more to hope towards Petruni. He couldn't quite gather the bouncing ball. Holmes desperate, so was Lockyer. It was clever to Hutt, now to Banbury. Turns on the dime nicely, and the exit kick is to space and to the dangerous Forbes in a 1-on-1. It's a place you don't want to be when you got the Forber on your hammer. Redan, the defender's got to be good, and he is. Bond gets it over the top, finds his teammate McLean. He goes out wide as Redan tried to come through McKay. He got away eventually with a dangerous kick inboard. Arriving late was Keel. He got his opponent high, free kick advantage to Redan.
Is the umpire going to pay? He has paid advantage then. He was going to call it back, and Sebastian's grateful because, fumble there from a player in Hart. Ball comes back to Redan. Chance now for Bond. Wasn't able to pick up Clemmy. Ball spills out the back, and the experience of Buckley and Henderson is able to clean up, although the handball to Lockyer was a good one. Lockyer dropped it. Henderson tackled now. Ball spills out of play in front of the scoreboard.
Gee, both teams are trying to be so fast and so aggressive. They're just, as soon as they get it, it's like we have to go as fast as we can down the middle.
And that's what you like to see when you're watching footy like this, as the ball comes back into play. Hutt nudged Bond under the footy, which now allowed Henderson to do the roving for Sebas. He kicks it outside 50. Could have been a free kick to McLean. Might have been taken high. Umpire said play on, and it looks like it's going to be a ball up. Around 60 metres from the Redan goal. They're kicking to the scoreboard in here at Marty Bush.
It's a hot start, and so hot that Henderson's taking the long sleeves off already.
Liam Hoy in a bit of a wrestle with Cooper Littlehales here.
Yeah. We'll go again. McKay doing the ruck work against Hutt, and that's a mismatch I've never seen. Henderson got the clearing kick. Littlehales forces the ball away from Hoy. Ball spills at the back. Will favour Redan with the numbers in issue. Johnston now. Little dance step superb. Got it away. Redan looked to just be creative over top. McKay should take the juggling mark. He plays on immediately. Thumps it inside forward 50. Lockyer though the only way in home. Probably dropped one he would normally take. Good enough to get off there to Phillips. Long right foot kicks in a vacant half forward region for Sebast. Lawson getting back for Redan. Looks inboard with the hand pass. At the feet his intended target to work out with the numbers. Jumps onto that raking left boot. Pounds it inside 50. An absolute beauty. Should have found Bell. He dropped it though. Buckley, his handball against suspect, was partially smothered. Redan keep the pressure going forward through McLean. He's gone, though. Incorrect disposal. Free kick by the way of Buckley. Made amends for an errant hand pass. And has the defence side of the centre of the ground.
Comes out laterally to O'Shea. So Buckley's got that match up on Bell, which is an interesting one. And we'll get your views on that a little bit later on. Brad McGowan, he goes inboard and finds Henderson, who's been influential tonight. So influential, he took his long sleeve jumper off. He was so worked up. His kick is towards Manari, who, after one juggle, umpire says no, it must have been off a Redan player in the end. I thought he'd marked it comfortably. The umpire said no, I'm going to come in and ball it up. So be a ball up right on 50, Brad McGowan. What did you think?
Well, just clever play by Henderson, selling a bit of candy, kicking the ball back inside 50.
Unopposed ruckman Crowland for Redan. They'll take it out of the air and just thump it out towards the outside. Buckley will lead the race and get it for Sebas. Turns on the afterburners, goes for a run. Right foot kicks long towards the top of the square. Redan with numbers at the back do well. Opportunity to exit. Wilkinson with a good tackle. Wrapped him up. Little Hale's run down from behind. Yes. Actually, it's Edwards to come through and applied the pressure to the big man. And might have no opportunity for a shot at the big sticks. But again, good forward pressure from Sebastopol, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, it is. And Redan tried to take it on every time.
Goes to the left this time. And a lateral ball's good inboard. Finds, I think it's Henderson directly in front on a same sort of distance, but a more central position to shoot from goal.
Just a silky-looking sort of player, Henderson. He's almost that old-fashioned centreman, moves just through the middle of the ground, goes to about centre-half forward, and that's where he happened to be standing.
And we saw his shot earlier, Roger the ground from outside 50, make the distance, so that won't be a problem directly in front. It's all about accuracy for Felix. His left foot kicks on its way, and that's his first one for the Borough. As he pops it through, they come from everywhere because they know it too. And Sebas moved to 4 goals, 2-26 on the Metro scoreboard. Redan 3-1-19.
The other thing I like about Felix Henderson, he's the left footer and he plays that sweeper role at a centre bounce. And what's so good about having a left footer there is that most ruckmen are right-handed, and so when they jump, they protect their body with their left knee and they tap with their right hand to their left. So if you can have a left footer coming past someone like Henderson, that's ideal in that sort of sweeper role. And so that's one of the reasons why he's such a high clearance player, because he's a left footer running onto his left each side.
Ball thrown up in the middle of the ground. Hutt won it for Sebas. Ball goes to ground. His brother tried to collect it, wasn't able to do so. Came out in the way of Hommelhoff. Got it to Henderson. Back to Keel. Keel's kick was smothered. Well done by Gunser. Sebas with the numbers through. Hutt able to win it back. Kick long in the forward line. Edwards, who's had a great quarter, wins a beautiful handball. The drop off the ball and watching him in a simple pick-up from Hart. Manari goes back in for Sebas to try and win it. He's tackled strongly. Umpire calls play on. Redan over the defence is working overtime here. In the end, they're good enough to win the clearance with a hurried kick. Went up and down. Good mark taken by Hommelhoff. Played on quickly. Went towards half forward. Mark dropped by Little Hales. Quick enough to come through was that man Henderson. Kick was smothered. Got a handball back. Holmes. Back over the shoulder. Kick came from Fletcher on the right boot. Snap it goal is home. Great kick by Jacob Fletcher. Came out of nowhere and all of a sudden Sebas have 5.
Just Sebas's forward pressure was so good there, gents, that when Redan get the ball, they're almost passing the problem quickly onto somebody else in that back line. It's like one quick handball, another quick handball, another quick handball. At least they eventually got to the point where they went, right, we do have to kick it, but because Sebas are also well structured up behind the ball, they were able to mark it and pump it straight back in. What Redan need to try and do down in that back line is get a quick kick and get a mark in the back line so they can then take control of the game. At the moment, they're just under so much pressure down there.
Well said by you, Brad McGowan. Thanks to good friends at One Life Insurance. Sebas, get a little separation on the score sheet as we'll go once again here at the Marty Bush Reserve. Opportunity for the Borough to come to the middle. Hutt of the Ben variety now goes back to Toby. He's wrapped up immediately there by Bushell, and we'll get a ball up as we move 5 minutes from the middle of the ground. Henderson being lively early, a clear early contender for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day. One down the right by Crowland. Buckley might have something to say if he can just pick this one up. Good pressure there applied there by Clark. May well an easy exit, a little bit more challenging. Buckley good enough to retreat. Goes to that man Henderson I spoke of before. Short ball's clever, finds Luke Keel. He'll go in ball with a right foot kick. Toby Hutt will take the mark for Sebas. Handball receiver was superb. Off to Buckley, through the middle, right foot kick to full forward. Missed it away from Edwards' hands. Ball still alive. The dangerous Forbes. He shakes, he bakes, he looks, he kicks. and he misses to the left-hand side from behind.
Classic small forward there. Had blokes coming past left and right. Never thought about handballing at once. He was always going to have a shot.
Oh, it was forward time. He just couldn't get between those two big six.
They hit record on the YouTube channel, I reckon, Sammy. I thought they thought that was probably going to get home, but just swung that little bit late.
He is the leading goal kicker in the league, so fair enough.
So Gunser with that prodigious left foot kick, kicks outside 50. Bond probably worked his Sebast teammate underneath and got away with it, which allowed Redan to win the footy, kick down the ground, looking in the direction of Kelly. I've been impressed with his intensity early. He was probably should have given away a free kick then, and Sebast through Bambi are able to clear. His kick was a poor one, directly back to Bond. Handball comes out towards Clark to Petruni. Shrugs one tackle, gets a handball. But Lang went straight into the tackle. He was probably unlucky not to win a holding the ball free kick against him. Loser. But the umpire comes in and says, I'll ball it up.
That's the example of just passing the buck there, really.
Yeah, well said, Brad McGowan. Just went straight now. This was not my problem anymore. It's now yours. Hot potato sort of style. As Banbury keeps the live handball inside was clever. It's off to Ben Hartz for Sebast. Bouncing right foot kick around the half forward. Good pressure again by Sebast at half forward. And a great tackle again by Edwards. As there is a Sebast player down near the contest. Gardner. Just slowly get to his feet. But Edwards again with another tackle. That's what you want to see from your big men. Now we go left or right. That seems to be our new game tonight. And he'll go with the left foot kick towards full forward. Big fight at the back, almost a juggling mark attempt. Bond was the tallest man in the pack. Probably should have done better for Redan to bring it to ground. In the end, it's off hands. Ball is being held to him, and the umpires have given it to me at the 28-minute mark of the opening term.
That's just about the first time that Sebast have actually just bombed it into the forward line. Outside of that, it's been laser-like kicks constantly.
Yeah, their entries have been very good as Hutt wins the hit out. Ball goes to ground, picked up by his brother Ben. Wasn't able to get an effective handball. Edwards goes back in, tries to break the tackle, as does Henderson. He managed to get the kick in the direction of Minari. Good spoil from Cruiserata. Sprang over the back from Holmes. He missed to the right-hand side. Bit of a scuffle behind play, or someone's down there. Injured, it looks like, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, Sebast player. He's getting to his feet now. I think it's Henderson, is it?
Yeah, you got better eyes on that one for us, Sammy Treasure, ground side?
Yeah, I'm still trying to identify. Yeah, it's Henderson. I will say, though, Jacob Wilkinson is off at the moment for Sebastopol. He struggled to put full weight on his left leg. He was quite emotionally upset. And also, Jack Banbury came to the bench just before and said, we need to slow the tempo down. We can't do this all night. It's too intense.
Back on the way here, Redan gets towards half-back to McKay. The hand pass misses target. You know what that means? Oh, it's gone. Handball out. Was it touched?
Yeah, he's done the lasso.
Oh, I was going to say, I am blinded by the benches. I apologise. I can't see, so no opportunity for Sebastian now to go inside 50, which they do with the right foot kick to full forward. And under mark will be taken in. It feels like men versus boys in the air inside 50, Brad McGowan. Particularly this man just looks like a colossus on the lead down Cooper Littlehales. No one put a good arm around him.
We would all love to play in the Sebast forward line today, though. They are just leading out. The kick is going perfectly to them over and over again.
So Cooper Littlehales will start his approach down the runway after the siren. To make a 6-goal opening term, Cooper now starts his approach. Right foot kicks on its way. It's a beauty. And on the Metro scoreboard, the Barrel moved to 6 goals for 40 at quarter time to lead Redan 3-1-19. We're going to take a break here. Welcome back to 3BA Footy's home ground. Thanks to D2A gyms. From Delacombe to Windermere, you're never too far from a D2E. And thanks to our good friends at Go Vita, your local health store. There's some around the grounds for you, Roger LeGrand.
Yeah, final scores down at Darley Park, and this result really has surprised me. Darley 25-10-160, a thrashbacks mask 9-2-56. So 35 scoring shots to 11 there in favour of Darley. Big win. Lakers put up a fight early against Ballarat, but in the end, Ballarat's class shone through. They won 15-11-101 to Lakers 5-14. 44, and the game currently underway down at Clark Oval. Sunbury 3-4-22, trail Melton 8-4-52 for One Life Insurance. His thoughts on the first quarter, Brad McGowan.
It's just been an exciting game, gentlemen. Just aggressive, fast ball movement by both teams, trying to go through the middle of the ground. Sebastopol have just been a bit better at it, especially off half-back. Tony Lockyer and Jack Buckley in particular have been finding Joel Edwards and Cooper Littlehales up forward. For Redan, Taj Bond has been fantastic. Some of their smaller, younger players are going all right. They just probably need to tighten up a little bit in the back line.
Sammy Treasure, you're down listening to the huddles. What did you have to report?
Yeah, down at Redan's huddle with Mark Gregg, he mentioned that they've been clear 4 or 5 times going forward, but there's just been some poor decision making. He alluded to Lockyer being free way too much for Sebastopol, but he is very happy with the overlapping handball and run. He said that's when they've looked their best. He said the pressure not too bad, but not too bad isn't going to cut it. He wants some more solid tackles. He also wants his back line to show a little more courage, at least half the contest were his words. But he did say ground level super dangerous, and he said that's where they're going to win the game with their leg speed.
Thank you very much, Sammy T. As we're back underway here for the second term. Handball ricocheted inboard. Banbury for Sebastopol come out the front of the stoppage off to Keel. Now they're running Ruckman and Hutt. Right foot kick to full forward, and there's a carbon copy from the opening quarter of footy. Brad McGowan on the lead. Edwards Marsh directly in front.
Fantastic, though, by Toby Hunter Ruckman. Like, usually you say, don't handball back to your Ruckman, but he's charging past at the speed of a small player and laces out his full forward.
He has always been a beautiful field kick, and showed it there. Lace out pass, and for the perfect start in the second term, Edwards will line up directly in front. There's been 9 individual goal kickers to start this match. No modals yet. Edwards can change that directly in front on the right boot, and it's right through the middle. So that's have 7 on the Metro scoreboard. 7-4-46. Redan 3-1-19.
Edwards is becoming a really dangerous forward in this competition, and he just gives that Sebastopol forward line another dimension. Like, Littlehales is such a tall and aggressive player. Edwards is tall but also has that solid body and just looks to be able to read the ball so well. He's a hard player to get around.
I don't know what you think, Roger McLean, but when you look against his size inside 450 against the Redan defence, it's like a men against boys.
100% Sam Young, and we've said that often tonight, and if he is good enough to win the Sporting Go Player of the Day, I'm going to ask him left or right boot, because he seems to be interchanging very well tonight. As Sebastopol win the clearance, Guns are able to get back, go to that right boot, kicks up the wing. The damn player fell at the crucial time and was tackled by Buckley. Umpire says play on. That player was Lockie Clark, and in the end it's going to be a lasso free kick, and it's going to go the way of Sebastopol. Kick comes inboard, finds Keel, the veteran. Back to Lockyer now, streams through the middle of the ground, kicks long towards half forward. Edwards looked like he was being held, and I don't blame Barker for that. Umpire said, no, I'm happy with that. And the ball up will ensue.
It was a fight for survival is what it was.
Exactly. So ball up on the front line of the centre square, Sebastopol into the ground.
Sebastopol been able to pile on 4 goals after Redan edged their way back into the contest. Ricochet inboard Pittard, he's going nowhere. Truce enough back. Played a couple of minutes in to this second term, and Sebastopol have already drawn blood through Edwards. As we'll go once again with Bond and Hutt. Give Hutt the points this time with a knockdown. Banbury, clever slap, got his way to Garner. He retreats to O'Shea. High left foot kick will go inside 50. But Dan Dewett numbers behind. McLean dropped one he should have taken coming out the night sky. Maybe lost it in the lights in the end.
They didn't want it. Neither of them did. They both looked at each other and, like Sam...
I'm blaming the lights.
Don't worry about Edwards coming behind him, unfortunately.
Ball thrown up, comes down to Garner for Sebas. Handballs to O'Shea. Juggled it and picked it up beautiful in the end. Tried to go around one tackle and was lucky not to get pinged for holding the ball. Hutt went in super strong for Sebas. Gave it to Garner to Banbury from outside 50. Kicks long towards full forward. Good defending from, that's what we like to see from a down on that occasion. It was Jordan Cruiseratis, and he punched the ball over the line.
Young, you mentioned before the game that Toby Hutt is the leading contested possession player in the competition. That was a great example of it, Dan. He just led with his huge body and shoulder, won the contested ball and then fed it off. He's becoming a really influential player in this competition, Toby Hutt.
Averaging 26.5 disposals a game to start season 2026. Redan trying to exit on the outside to Gunster. Ran into a brick wall and Sebastian chaining through handballs. Clever knock on in the direction there. Banbury go with a left foot kick towards the top of the square. Redan do have numbers. Hit hard off that wing. Was got in the hole and did well. He's able to not take the mark, but clear defensive 50 for the moment for the Lions. Bouncing ball will be a tough one in the end. Just unkind of bounce. O'Shea for Sebas. Able to mop things up and go into the corridor and finds Buckley. He can send Sebas into attack. Long right foot kick. In the pocket towards Fletcher. And he's got it as he marks millimetres between him and the line. And he'll line for goal, tucked up against the boundary line.
It's a beautiful kick by Buckley. And as that leading pattern was almost that Jack Gunston from Hawthorn sort of leading
100%.
pattern where you own the back space and push towards the boundary. And the kick from Buckley was just so good.
So he'll line up for his second of the evening. Fletcher, difficult angle right on the boundary fence beside the light tower. Goes back. Looked all right off the boot. Probably going to fall short in the end, and it does. Bond not able to grab the ball for Redan. Hutt caught. He snaps over his shoulder, and the ruckman has another. Toby Hutt kicks his first for the afternoon, and Sebastian have their 8th. They go to 8-4-52. Redan 3-1-19 on the Metro scoreboard.
Yeah, good play by Hutt, just actually winning the ball at ground level, not what ruckman are usually meant to do, but he did get to the fall of the ball and popped it through. Sebastian looking pretty ominous right now.
Yeah, they've kicked the last 5 goals in this one, boys, as they've skipped away in the Metro scoreboard to 8-4-52 to Redan's 3-1-19. Toby Hutt having a very purple patch to start the second term and putting his hand up for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day on it. He continues this work rate as the game progresses. Bond will get the tap forward for Redan. Ben Hutt, defensive side of the centre bounce, will do okay with the hand pass. Turns it over, now Redan go forward through Taj Bond with a right foot kick inside forward 50, bouncing ball. Will favour there McKay. Got it off to a teammate. Right foot kick from Batruni towards the top of the square. Getting back, strong mark is taken by the Borough though deep in defence. Right foot kick will come out towards the broadcast side, should find Lockyer. He'll go with the short measured ball, which he does, and finds Hommelhoff, who could give it back to Tony. He ignored his coach. And then he's almost overcooked to the Banbury, but he was good enough to reel it in with the one hand. Right foot kick looking towards centre wing, getting back, strong mark taken by Lang. Floated in from the side, took a mark for Redan on true centre wing.
Beautiful mark from Lang. Kicks inboard, misses the targeting Clark. Bond was clever enough to tap it onto Clark, who got run down, holding the ball. Luke Keel, the recipient of the free kick for Sebastopol. He's keen to keep play moving. Sebast well on top here in the second quarter. The D2E Gyms from Delacombe to Wendouree, and never too far from a D2E. He kicks down the middle and finds his ruckman in Toby Hutt. Slowing play down a little bit. And in the end, no one on the mark, quite unusually, and he plays on. So he takes the bounce and runs straight through the middle. Poor defending from Redan. He goes out wide, finds Minari out by himself. He's on the left half-forward flank for Sebastopol. All of a sudden, play seems to have slowed down a little bit. Sebast trying to open up that forward line. Minari just doesn't want to bomb it in there, so in the end goes short the keel. Met heavily from Bond. Umpire says, no, I'm content that was in the contest. So Luke Keel, what a game he played last week. He, in terms of disposals, I think it was over 30 and about 14 clearances. He's got back to his best. He kicks short to Ben Hutt, who has the ball outside 50.
So Ben Hutt maybe set the one up, and the umpire's going to just reassess him behind the mark. And at least he's been sun smart, that umpire tonight, with the hat on. That's all I'll say. Short ball wide is good.
This is better by Redan, though, at least. Redan have got numbers back, and they've really slowed Sebas up.
So still outside forward 50 here, the Borough, as they try to eventually pull the trigger through Holmes towards the top of the square. One maybe for Edwards to fly from 3 deep. Couldn't take the mark. Little Hales at ground level. Handballed away. Was only as far as Clark with the right foot kick clearing defence. Bell couldn't quite gather. Well played there by initially Raven off the Henderson for Sebas, and his left foot kick will go inside forward 50. Looking for Edwards. Pushed out of the way legally, said the umpire. Spills at the back. In the end, Lane sees him over the line, and Redan creates stoppage inside their own defence. They're 3-1-19 on the Metro scoreboard. They trail Sebas 8-4-52.
If I'm Redan, I'm saying don't worry about scoring for a little bit here. Let's just try and get hold of this game. Let's slow it down when we move it out of half-back.
Ball comes back into play. Hutton Bond. Bond won it for Redan. He'll probably dispose of that incorrectly. And in the end, he's going to win the free kick for holding the man, which I'm not sure I'd like to see a replay of that one. It looked like he threw the ball out and the tackle lingered, and Redan players rightly aggrieved. What did you think for One Life Insurance, Brad McGowan?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit harsh. He probably did hold that little bit too long, but Luke Keel has been very important in the last few minutes. He's just his leadership, his speed, and his effort around the football. He's not a known goal kicker, but really should be able to put this through.
Back in the line this week after a laid out last week. Round 1, 2 goals, 27 disposals, 10 clearances. A return to form, if you will, fully fit, fully playing, and going as he pops it through. And reminds Lawson about it as he knocks into the turf. Sebas have 9 under lights here at the Marty Bush Reserve. 9-4-58. They lead Redan 3-1-19 as we're midway through the second term.
Keel's put Lawson down twice after the free kick and then after the goal. He's lucky to get away with both of those as both players rotate off the ground.
So 8 goal kickers for their 9 goals, Sebas. So 2, of course, to Joel Edwards, and then 1 to Toby Hutt, Felix Henderson, Keel, Little Hales, Fletcher, Minari, and Garner.
Back on the way here, the Marty Bush Reserve. Big fly by Bond. He knocks it down. Ricochets back in his own direction. He gets the handball away. Breaking up was Bambury with the hand. Right foot kick will come inside 50 by Clark and by the lines. A bounce at the back. Here's an opportunity, maybe. Inside 50 for the lines. They retrieve the hand pass in the direction there. Petruni, he's stripped of it in the tackle. McKay unable to gather. Again, that tackling pressure from Sebas is excellent. They hold up inside their own defence. 50 Brad McGowan for One Life Insurance. You've been impressed with their work rate?
I have been, but at least Redan are able to cause a stoppage in their forward 50. Give their defence a bit of a rest.
They're desperate for a goal, Redan, as that ball up will be repeated. Play right on the 50-metre line and gives us a chance to reflect on the Sporting Globe Player of the Day and some early contenders. I've got some thoughts that maybe that Sporting Globe $50 voucher will be going down the highway tonight because their 2 Geelong boys in Henderson and Edwards are absolutely dominating as we come in for another ball up.
And Buckley as well. All 3 Sebas players. You could add in Tony Lockyer. His ball movement, the coach for Sebas, has been brilliant.
Absolutely. So 3rd ball up in a row. Hutt won it out, but really well rowed by Petruni. The kick let him down though, and it goes out of bounds on the full at the Redan end of the ground next to the velodrome.
Let's cross to our man Sam Treasury. Keep an eye on the bench. Jacob Wilkinson hasn't returned. It looks like his night might be done. Sammy?
Yeah, I reckon it's done, Sam. He's had the crutches, I should say, by his side. Just a leg injury. I'll try and confirm what it is, but nothing confirmed yet. But I'd say his night is done, yes, for the veteran.
Sad to see. As the Borough are 1 down in this one. Deep in the defence, they'll be able to come out of it through Buckley. Long right foot kick.
Torp.
Yeah, he does have that licence to do that. I've seen it a few times.
Free kick against Hoy there. He's just thrown Little Hales away. Those two have been having a fair battle all day.
Yeah.
Little Hales has the height. Hoy probably the strength, but Little Hales has got him a couple of times.
Little Hales goes to centre wing looking for Edwards. Too tall, but spills at the back. And here we go. He's opportunity for Forbes. Can he slip the tackle? No, he can't. Spills at the tackle. And Redan come through. Cruiseradas through the middle of the Marty Bush Reserve. Opportunity to go inside 50 through a right foot kick of Clark. This is the ground. Buckley sits down and waits on this occasion. He spits it wide the hand pass with Lockyer. He spits it back in his direction. Sidesteps superb. Right foot kick around the body. And he finds the chest on the other side.
So Sebas, Lockyer looked to go forward. Cruiseradas finds front position for Redan and was able to drop the mark and pick it back up again. And now Redan is able to clear from defence, but certainly under pressure. Kick goes long. Taj Bond has found himself by himself for Redan, right outside 50 now. So he will kick from about 55, and he looks like he's going to go back and have a shot. Brad McGowan, he's about the man on the mark is 55 metres out.
He's going to have a shot. I don't think he has the trip, boys. What I am finding really interesting, though, is that Redan forwards aren't able to get much separation, apart from Taj Bond. The Sebastopol defenders all over him.
There's a bit of a scuffle going on just behind play as we speak. Taj Bond, he's got hold of it.
Oh, my goodness.
Goal umpire hasn't moved until the last moment, and it swung around and hit the behind post. What a kick.
They did it 3/4 of the way up.
Exactly. 3-2-20 Redan. It's Sebast 9-4-58 in the Metro scoreboard.
Jeez, the human pencil's got some length in the boots.
Yet in the first quarter, he missed one. He didn't get the distance from 40, so that's quite remarkable.
Don't worry about those chicken legs. They've got some absolute meat behind them. That's for sure.
Long levers.
Down the middle of Sebastopol again. Poor kick out again, but it might work out to their advantage as the mark was dropped by McKay. They spit it wide, and the Borough looked to go towards half forward, although the kick was too tall for an intent target. Cruiseradas couldn't hang on the mark. Barker involved as well. Now a turnover. Sebast looked to go through the corridor. Opportunity here for Edwards on the left boot to go to full forward. Looking for Forbes. Hits the deck. Minari coming through. Looks left. He retreats. Clever. Unselfish. Finds a teammate. Mark is taken by Hummelhoff directly in front, 40 from goal.
Unselfish, wasn't it, Brad McGowan?
Yeah, everything you just said, that's right. He would have had a licence key forward 20 metres out. He could have definitely turned and snapped that on his left, but found a teammate in an even more sort of attacking position and go back and should put this through.
So the man they call the Hoff, Jed Hummelhoff, directly in front. Had a good start season 2026. Obviously had his injuries before coming to the club. And as you build him up, he lets me down. In the end, he's been lucky to scrape me through for a score. It's 9-5. 59 on the Metro scoreboard. Redan 3-2-20.
You got to kick them or the forwards won't pass it to you again.
So Redan have just kicked the one behind this quarter, and we're over 13 minutes now. They're desperately needing one. As Kellyo came a long way with that footy without bouncing. Probably could have been pinged for running too far, and his kick was a poor one anyway, and it came back in the direction of Curtin. He kicked long and strong mark overhead by Edwards, I think it is. Difficult to see in this light. Yep, yeah. Sure enough. Great kick by Curtin, Brad.
It was, and it was just presenting. He basically gets back to the goal square and then just comes straight up the middle consistently, and he's just very hard to get around. He's able to mark the ball out in front of himself.
So Joel Edwards, he has 2 this evening. He will line up for number 3. This one's probably the easiest shot he's had. He's 30 metres out, directly in front, comes in, kicks it beautifully. The crowd likes it, as does he. Sebast have their 10th goal, 10-5-65. Redan 3-2-20 on the Metro scoreboard.
I'm going to go early here, Brad McGowan, and I want your answer here for the Sporting Globe player today, but he might be featuring. I reckon he's got a big bag. He just looks too big, too strong.
Yeah, he does. He's feasting on this Redan defence, unfortunately. And yeah, he certainly is my Sporting Globe player of the day at this stage. And boys, he could be one of the best key forwards in the competition the way he's playing.
Inaccuracy the first 2 weeks. Got his kicking boots on tonight with 3 goals in the opening half thus far. And we're only halfway through the second term, might I add. Won the ruck by Little Hales. Redan will get the clearance to McKay. Right foot kick will go towards half forward. And in front, the mark is taken. Goes to the ground, does the Redan play, gives it off there to McKay, who continued to run on, bumps it towards full forward, getting back courage. A wonderful mark taken by Buckley, Go the short ball, finds Banbury. Banbury in his own defence 50 to Sebast, just measures the pass, and the Borough looked to bite one off in the corridor. Little Hales dropped one he would normally take. Hummelhoff gets it inside 50, looking for Edwards. Couldn't take the mark. Minari waits down. Unselfish gives it off again. This time to Little Hales. Spearing ball. Wow, he finds Keel.
Yeah, just brilliant ball movement by Sebast. Looks like Keel's going to take this pretty quickly, so I'll let you guys talk it through. But realistically, I think it was a Redan error to kick inside 50 that caused this.
So Keel looks like he's going to start from maybe a couple of steps, snap around the body. Become the second mobile goal kick of the night, despite there being already 13 majors. Couple steps, Keel, screw punt, through the eye, Diddle, thank you very much.
Yeah, beautiful movement by Sebast to goal. But I would say that Redan and Coach Mark Gregg would say that actually that was caused because Redan overhandballed. They had a mark 60 metres out. A player was flying past. And what they did was they gave the handball to that player, but not until they gave it to him too early. So that the person on the mark was what we would call able to keep them in the V. The person on the mark was just able to step across, put enough pressure on. It meant the kick was rushed and it was a turnover kick. Instead of giving that handball, kick it yourself. or do a forward handball and have the person receive it when they're past the man on the mark. Then they're not under pressure, and then you can get a better entry inside 50.
His thoughts, Brad McGowan for One Life Insurance. 5 goals to none this quarter so far for Sebas as they string the ball forward again. Umpires found a free kick. In the back free kick, and it's going to go the way of Redan. So McLean, the man to take that free kick. He goes out wide, finds Pittard at the outer side, goes in short. Looking for Taj Bond. Shows great versatility. Swings over that right boot, and again Sam Young, that long kick, that would have gone 60 metres. Unfortunately, it missed the target, and the mark taken back there by Phillips for Sebas. Right in the goal square.
Send his tapes to the NFL, that's all I'm going to say. He's got a booming right foot kick. Gets great distance. Sebas, short ball over the top. Been able to possess the footy very impressively tonight, and as I say that, they dropped the mark and spills out of bounds, Brad McGowan. But that's been one key thing as well, as their skills have been so good in what we kind of expect would be slightly dewy conditions under lights.
And it is becoming slightly more dewy as the night goes on, but still, Sebas, very keen to just take it on. Obviously the players train in these type of conditions, so they're fairly used to it.
So inside 50 though for Redan, Bond doing the ruck work as he's resting forward. The Borough get numbers across to hold things up, and in the end, caught in the tackle. Sam Treasure down boundary side, can you tell us how dewy those conditions are starting to become?
It is increasingly getting a bit more dewy. I've just rubbed my hand on the grass and you can feel it a little bit.
And just check on Edwards for us if you can. He came off just then, Sam, towards the bench, clutching at his kind of groin hamstring area. I'd be interested to see if he's okay.
As Henderson will get the clearance there for Sebas towards the outer side. Redan win it back and we'll send it inside 50 through Clark. Tough ball to mark as it slips at the back. One for the small forwards to go to work. Sebas with the numbers. Able to use it by hand. Spearing pass, a good one. I think it's Manari's going to take the mark and go short inboard. Sebas look to access that corridor. Opportunity here to thump it inside 50 through Banbury. At the back it goes. Opportunity for Sebas. Opportunity for Manari. He keeps it in front. He can look for the handball at the top. Can he shake the break and tackle? He can't. Cruiser eyes. He's caught and gone. A good one-on-one win for Redan deep in their own defence at the 18-minute mark of the second term.
They haven't had many defensive one-on-one wins like that, so as you mentioned, Cruiseratus, good job.
It'll be Rory Bell, actually, in the end, who'll take that free kick. Right. Young fella, not even 18. 17-year-old boy from up Mallee region. Great tackle, as you called Sam Young, and Redan able to get the clearance through Bond. He kicks along up the wing. Pittard's done some nice things tonight, and he's used his speed well. He plays on quickly with a handball, misses the target. This is what's hurting Redan, that turnover in the middle of the ground. Henderson was the one who cleaned up for Sebastopol. Clark comes through, though, and snatches it off into Petruni. Chance for Redan now going forward. One-on-one. Taj Bond finds the front position. Very cleverly defended, though, by Wilkinson. The ball tapped out of play. In front of the velodrome here at Marty Bush. 19 minutes into the second quarter. The Metro scoreboard leads shows 11-5-71 Sebas. Redan 3-2-20.
Remarkably a 51-point margin. When you go back, 20 minutes ago, it was pretty close and tight here at the Marty Bush Reserve. But Sebas were able to kick away. Redan need to get one against the grain here. They can't. Sebas clear through Raven. Right football towards centre wing will be tough to mark. It bounces on its point and probably favours the Borough going forward. Sebas working by hands, opportunity on the outside to really turn the afterburners on. Right foot kick from Keel to half forward. In the end, missed its target. Redan again. The last on defence looks like it might be Bell again. Will take the mark. He's got Cruiserata short if he likes. Ignores that initially. Right foot kick will be a high, long one towards centre wing. Big fly from the side. Umpires paid a hold. Going to go the way of Redan on centre wing. So an opportunity for them, virtue from our opposite from our broadcast position, to do some more attacking on that outside. Kick up the inset toward half for Bell. Slide in, couldn't complete the mark at ground level. Now Sebas on the turnover. They look left, they look right. Banbury clever. Ball inboard finds Hutt, and they can go forward.
It's been very good tonight as Toby Hutt. That's a goal, but if anything, he's won that ruck contest against Taj Bond in the middle. As we highlighted pre-game, he's very good around the ground as Toby Hutt, as the kick comes inboard and finds Fletcher. He looks short, finds the Hommelhoff. Plays on quickly, goes in the left boot, and all by himself in the end, uncontested. Strong mark taken by Keel.
He's been really dangerous, Keel, starting at times in the midfield, at times at half-back, and he just pushes forward that speed. They let him go because his player dropped off him and got back to try and help the key defenders out. Keel said, well, if you're going to drop off me, I'll slip in about 40 metres out from goal and get an uncontested mark.
So Sam Young puts together some statistics for us all in the commentary box pre-game, and it says that Luke Keele has 58 before tonight. He's already kicked 2, so he's on 60. This is for career goal number 61 from 50 metres. I've talked him up and he's kicked it. Oh, over the back came Edwards trying to claim the mark. Umpire said no play on. Ball goes to ground. Sebastopol still putting strong pressure on Redan. Tackle laid from Cat Lee. Ball came back to Bailey McCabe. He's able to clear outside 50 with a strong kick. Lockyer flew. Ball came over the back. Foot race is on. Sebastopol able to get back through Curtin. Kick from Raven goes into the forward 50. Lang leads in the race, not able to pick it up. Fletcher could, kicks towards the goal square. Plays punch back into play. Gunser goes, was tackled high. Umpire agreed to be a free kick to Redan in the back pocket. Some nervous moments, Sam Young for the Redan defence.
Yeah, the forwards are just hunting at the minute for Sebastopol. Their tackling pressure's been super, and they're almost just queuing up at times, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, totally agree. We were saying that there were some good key forwards for Sebastian the twos, but they're going to struggle to get in with the way their forwards are playing.
Big fly by Kaleo. He was centre wing. Forbes got his head ripped off and wins the free kick. Maybe small in stature, but still got one around the neck. The human highlight reel. Adam Forbes will thump it inside 50, looking for one of the tall timber targets. It's fisted away. Cruzera's at ground level. Handball's only as far as Keel for Sabas. He retreats. Kept alive there by Little Hales. He goes inboard the hand pass. Off to O'Shea. Henderson has Edwards from 50. Joel Edwards lines up the goals. Doesn't have the distance on the kick. It might be marked in the square. Almost by Minari. He slaps it to his own advantage. He retreats back to Edwards. Uses that big frame. Can he get through a couple tackles? He can't. Umpire gives him a bit of leeway and lets it roll on. The ball remarkably alive. Hutt gave it off to Hommelhoff. Right foot snap. Got it.
Beautiful play by Sebastopol. Joel Edwards is really doing a number on this Redan defence. He's just so strong that the Redan players are having to start 2 to 3 metres off him, because as soon as their body touches him, he just bumps them away. So they've got to jump in and try and just punch the ball away at the last second, but he's just so strong.
9 individual goal kickers and a half a footy is massive, and that's what the Borough have. Almost half their side has kicked 1 3 in the big sticks and a half a footy.
And they've kicked 6 for the quarter. Redan have kicked 1 behind, and that's the story of the night so far. Redan started very promisingly, but this second quarter here at Marty Bush Reserve has been one-way traffic.
Yeah, they don't have the ability to arm wrestle yet.
So Hutt versus Taj Bond. Taj Bond won the hit out, but as we've seen most of the night, Sebastopol able to get numbers around the foot. In this occasion, it's Keel. The handball to Buckley. Raven. Back to Keel. Walked one and then came back and found Ben Hutt. He plays on, comes inboard, finds his brother Toby Hutt. Gives it back to his brother Ben Hutt. They've done this a couple of times before to Hommelhoff. Inboard again, and Edwards on the lead. Marks comfortably without any real pressure, Brad McGowan, 40 metres out.
Yeah, as I was saying, they just don't want to stand next to him because he pushes off them if they're within a metre, if he's going to lead. Or if it's sat on his head, he just pushes them away at the last minute. So they're trying to give him a couple of metres of space, but the ball's just coming in too easily as well. So hard on this Redan defence.
The Hutt brothers, both of them, both Ben and Toby, playing super games tonight, as is this man. Early contender for our Sporting Globe Player of the Day. He has 3 already. This for number 4 from about 40 metres out from goal. Has the distance? No. Just touched the post again in the end, I think. And it will be through for a behind. Sebastopol 12-6-78. Redan 3-2-20.
So Rory Gunster will bring it back in. Been quiet for his illustrious standards, but in fairness, there has been a fair bit of one-way traffic in this term to contend with.
Maybe that's the move, Brad. Put him on ball.
Gunster, high ball. Now, mark was taken right on the siren, and it's going to be paid. And
Mr. Torpedo himself.
This is in his wheelhouse. He loves a barrel, Buckley. He's done a couple for fullback this season. This is going to have to go 80, though. Buckley goes, bang, got none of it. Absolutely horrid. And the next round scoreboard as we go into half-time will read 12 goals, 6-78. Sebastopol leading Redan 3 goals to 20 here. We're going to take a break thanks to our number 1
That part of the night where we get some interesting program prize cash. So Coffee Richard's got a draw out of date down here. And I have Jack Lowe out here for 5K cash. Oh, Jack, all right. These are young bar boys, 2 weeks in a row. Hopefully you can do better than the cat, Jack.
Commentary is not working.
Hold it. Are you sure you're ready to go, Jack? Alright, go for it. Oh. Alright, Adam, you got to take another crack. Alright, Jack, one more go. No pressure.
Go, Jack, Jen!
Alright, right, second across the pin. Alright, let's go, Jack. 5K.
Come on, Jackie!
Alright, Jack. Well done on behalf of Payment Bowl. Nice, fresh fish, $1 no foil, well done. The next Kitchen Dash will be in 3 weeks' time against Darley, so remember to buy your tickets from the bar in 3 weeks' time. Go to Ballarat.
Jack, you sold!
And he did that.
Thank you very much, Ian. As we're ready for the second half here.
Sam Young orchestrating the game.
I can do it all as the conductor in the box. And we're off and running, taking it out of the ruck. And he said, the umpire says he's gone, holding the ball.
Gee, that was harsh.
I thought under the new interpretation that may not be. But anyway, Crowell takes advantage, thumps it inside forward 50. Big spoils up came from Wilkinson and got it to ground. Big slinging tackle and gone. Pinned the arm and shot on goal coming out for the perfect start for Redan. I think it's maybe Bushell. It's hard to tell from my vantage point. And you applied that ball, but return. That was Clark, actually.
Fantastic tackle by Clark. He just pinged the one arm, and the Sebastopol player couldn't do anything. Tried to drop the ball to his foot, but missed it holding the ball.
He's been a good progressive player for Redan, only in his 12th senior game. He's got his numbers up to nearly 20 disposals a game to start the 2 weeks. Had a little bit of it in the opening half and can cap over the goal if he can convert for the perfect start the second half for Redan. Clark will start to set, right foot kicks on its way. Goalpoint doesn't move, he's got it. And Redan draw first blood in the second half on the Metro scoreboard. They move the 4 goals to 26. Sebastian 12-6-78.
Fantastic start, and exactly what a young team like Redan, who've had their confidence dented a bit in that first half, they needed a pick-me-up like that. Great start for them.
So one of just 4 goal kickers tonight for Redan is Lockie Clark. He joins Taj Bond, Ollie Pittard and Grant Bell, each with a single. Redan, on the other hand, have at least 9 goal kickers out of their 12, and I'll run through those a little bit later on as play gets back underway in the middle. Hutt won it out. Down to Banbury, goes onto his right boot forward direction. Nari there, good spoil from the Redan defence combined, comes out to Pittard, goes long onto his right boot for Redan, up the ground. Bell uses his experience and takes a strong mark overhead, plays on that left boot and kicks long forward. Fell between both Redan players, but then got tapped back to Taj Bond, who kicks on the way to goal, and very quickly, after not kicking a goal in the second quarter, they've kicked 2 to start the third. Redan have their 5th.
Wonderful play by Taj Bond. He's so skillful for a tall player. We heard Mark Gregg, the coach of Redan, say, no, he's actually a forward. He's just so tall and athletic, we've got to jump him in the ruck as well. But God, what a luxury of a player.
5-2-32 Redan, Sebastopol 12-6-78 in the Metro scoreboard.
Great start to the second half for the Lions, getting back-to-back goals to start things here. As now Bond, the forward, goes into the ruck. Up against Hutt. As we're only played a couple minutes in the third term. And we're off and running once again here at the Marty Bush Reserve. Bond got up nice and high and won it down. Banbury with the clearance, so we get the right foot kick towards half forward for Sebas. Bounces on its point back inboard. Umpires going to play in the back, and a free kick will go the way of Redan. So things going their way at the moment. It'll go the way of Hoy. Short pass will be good. We'll find McKay. He's been good. At half back, he has it for the Lions. He plays on. And by the top, we'll go back to Hoy, go back to McKay. They share it nicely. Right foot kicks a scrubby one towards centre wing, and the feed, nice pick up in the half volley was Bell, and he gives Wilkinson a piggyback as the umpire said it touched the turf and it wasn't a mark.
It is hard to see. I thought it was a mark. Let's see if Grant Bell, he's not arguing too much.
Well, the hat's gone off, so maybe just didn't quite see if he hit the turf or not.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't see because the light was reflecting off the chrome dome of the umpire.
So Holmes from Sebas is actually playing a run with and as you heard from Brad McGowan, a beautiful shark from Bond down to Clark. I was just saying that Holmes is now running with Gunser as a defensive kind of wingman. As the ball goes forward for Redan, Lockyer leads in the race for the ball. Lang took it off him for Redan. Handball over the top to Bond. Was he tackled without it? Umpire said no. Keel goes in, pushed in the side. Ball able to be kept in play. Grant Bell kicks long towards the goal square. Pack will fly. Sebas' defence is good enough. Knocked the ball to ground. Hommelhoff. Sebas able to clear. Hutt dropped what he perhaps could have taken, and it'll be a ball up in the middle of the ground here at Marty Bush Reserve. So that margin being cut back by a couple of goals from the half half-time margin. It's now back to 46 points in favour of Sebas on the Metro scoreboard.
Just impressed with Taj Bond's hit before. Most hits go within a metre. He hit it about 4 metres outside to his players.
Redan will get another clearance and send it inside forward 50. A tough one to mark. It hits the turf, which creates a bit of chaos ball. Curtin's handball's too hot for his teammate in Buckley, who dragged his opponent off the footy. Umpire wave play on. Curtin able to get the clear and kick towards centre wing on the broadcast side. Hoy in a one-on-one with Little Hales did well in the marking contest initially, and then Lawson comes away with it. Spearing pass finds McLean, wheels around to that trusty left boot. Wobbly kick towards half forward was awful, and in the end it's out of bounds. You know what that means? Lasso! Free kick space.
Not so trusty left today.
So it'll be the coach, Tony Lockyer, who goes across goal, finds teammate in Keel. Quick handball and very cleverly done by Buckley. Onto Banbury, straight to the middle of the ground, the right boot. Edwards leads up at it, and gosh, I don't have the stats, Andy, but I reckon he's marked it 10 or 12 times tonight. He's absolutely dominated centre forward. He kicks on the lead, overkicks this one though, and a good mark taken overhead by the Redan defender in Hoy. So Liam Hoy, defensive 50 for Redan, just slowing play down a little bit, hits a target. It's Callio there, comes out to McKay. Short game is the way to go for Redan, but they're going to overcook it this time. Crowell was up to the task though, well done. Plays on that right boot and finds Taj Bonnet and half forward.
Yeah, well played by Crowell, got it short there to find Bond. He did a little dance there, Bond. Not by one, not by two. Then he overcooked the hand pass. Bit too much, but gee, it was impressive to watch. So that's the vibe for the moment. Coming off half back, spearing pass, good finds Buckley. Got a bit of space in front of him. Just chips over top of the loose man in Gardner. He tucks it under his arm, takes one bounce to Seth, has a second bounce. Right foot kicks the wobbly one towards full forward. One for the high flyers, and they've got it. Mark's taken inside forward 50 by the Borough.
It's Edwards again, I think.
I think it is.
He's looking really ginger on that left leg, though. Like I said at half time, in the second quarter, he was under some duress. He marked that looking a little bit sore as well.
Left foot around the body, shallow off the boot. But good enough off the boot. He's got 4. And Sebas get the response in the 13th of the night.
He's definitely carrying an injury, but he's a full forward who's getting beautiful delivery and everything's working for him. So he is not coming off. He wants this game to go into tomorrow. So you won't see him come off the ground.
He wants that Sporting Globe voucher, Brad McGowan.
Just on Taj Bond before, we're oohing and ahhing because he's 200 centimetres, but he's balking players on the mark. I seriously wonder whether this kid has an AFL future. He has attributes that are definitely AFL level.
Agility.
Yeah, he's agility. I mean, he hasn't got an AFL body yet. He's got the 200 centimetres, not the 110 kilos, but God, he's athletic.
So Sebas get one back. Hit out one by Hutt for Sebastopol. Ball comes to ground coming through is Bell, but Henderson able to win it back with Sebas. Goes on the left boot to Ben Hutt. Handball came back in the direction of Hommelhoff, I think it is. He kicks long towards Edwards. Dropped it. Probably could have marked it. The end ball went to ground. Forbes in there. Snap over the shoulder. Dan defence up to the task and able to just dribble the ball out of bounds in the right near the Sebas Velodrome end of the ground here at Marty Bush Reserve.
So Sebastian's small forward, Adam Forbes, leading goal kicker, or was the leading goal kicker coming in. He hasn't had much opportunity because his job is to get the crumbs. There hasn't been many crumbs, boys.
No. When you've got your key forwards clunking everything, the forward can't go to as much work as he would like. But here he is. Broke off the tackle. Handball off to Sebas. Inboard. Left foot around the body from Henderson. Into the woodwork. Minor score. 13 goals, 7. Now Sebas moves to on the Metro scoreboard. After that, behind, ricocheted into the woodwork. Redan will go quickly with the exit kick and deep into the pocket. Keeping a close eye on the Gunser and Holmes matchup. Been a bit of push and shove ever since Holmes has gone, as you said, Roger Legrand, almost with a defensive type tag on him in this second half. Redan go long down the line. Off hands, right over Lockyer and out of bounds it goes in between the arcs of half forward and centre wing on the outside.
So, Brad, have you noticed any change in game style from Redan? Has there been Mark Reed, has he said go into the shell, or are they continuing to attack?
I think they are continuing to attack, but they are going that little bit wider. So I'd say that's been a slight defensive change because it is, if they are turning it over, it's going out of bounds.
Thank you, Brad McGowan, for One Life Insurance as the umpires found a free kick out of that boundary throw. And it's going to go, he signalled the wrong way in the end. It's going to go to Hommelhoff, who plays on quickly. Strong mark taken overhead by Cooper Littlehales. And look at the size difference there. He's playing on Harry Lawson. Harry Lawson would be lucky to be 5'10". Cooper Littlehales is probably 6'4".
And Littlehales, and each time it's a kick into the Sebastopol forward line, they have so much space to move into. It's not like they just have one little leading lane. They have half the ground because Sebastopol bring it through the middle. It's just so hard to defend.
They just have so many options inside forward 50. It's been Edwards for the majority of the night. Then Littlehales bobs up, and he kicks his second. Pops it through. Sebastopol moves to 14 goals, 791 on the Metro scoreboard. Redan 5-2-32. One of the three out of the Mount Clear footy factory out there for Sebastopol tonight is Cooper Littlehales, and a nice goal there for his second of the night.
Bit of a scuffle behind play too.
We might be just going
goal square.
Might be going to his direct opponent Liam Hoy, who's had a bit of push and shove with throughout the evening as well.
I think Holmes is right smack bang in the middle of that one, Sammy Young, as he makes his way to the wing and alongside Gunser.
Yeah, it's been a good battle, those two. I'd say Holmes, as you're saying, he's got a roll on Gunser. We know Sebastopol look to try and take away the other team's weapons, and Gunser is one of those who's found it hard going today.
Back on the way here, Hutt wins it down against Crowlin in the ruck. Well played there by Buckley. Sebastopol going through the middle. Long rifle kick from Lockie to a vacant square and all the way home.
Wow, look at the boys get around him too.
As easy as you like from the coach. Streaming through, pops it through. Sebastopol have another here at the Marty Bush Reserve.
Just so attacking from half back. And what hasn't been able to happen is Redan haven't been able to punish them. Like Sebastopol just said, we're going to take it through the middle. It's going to be risky. Yep, see if you can stop us. Unfortunately, Redan haven't been able to keep enough pressure on. Redan need to try and own the middle of the ground. You can guarantee that Sebastopol are coming through the middle. Redan need to get numbers into the middle and try and cause turnovers in there, because Sebastopol can just take it on too easily at the moment.
Just those second and third efforts, isn't it? Henderson and Buckley part of that last one again. And speak of the devil, Henderson out of the middle again on that beautiful left foot of his. And I think Edwards could have won a free kick. Umpire said no. Ball goes to ground. Forbes, very handy handball over to Henderson.
Wow.
Pass that for a bit of play, Sebastopol. Get up on your feet, Borough Faithful, and enjoy that one.
Well called, Roger LeGrand. Goal of the night contender just for the creativity and class inside forward 50. 10 individual goal kickers tonight already for Sebastopol. They are doing as they please, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, well, that one there was a perfect example of midfield stoppage craft. Ben Crellin for Redan has been trying, but he's mightfully outsized by Toby Hutt. So because Sebastopol knew that, they said, well, hey, Henderson, start on the right-hand side, wrap around behind onto your beautiful left foot, and they were able to hit it to his advantage, wrapped around, found a player going inside 50. Taj Bond has now said to Ben Crellin, hey, I've got to get back into the ruck. I can't let him do that to us.
3 in as many minutes, 2 coming from centre bounce clearance. Sebastopol flying here in 2026, and they're not done yet. Hutt just took it out of the ruck off to Henderson. It's like a training drill as they go inside forward 50. At ground level, Forbes will be dangerous. He's sniffing to get on the score sheet. Couldn't quite gather. In the end, Redan will clear towards the other side with the bouncing ball out from Cruiseratus. They keep it alive to the Lions on this occasion. Handball in the direction there of Clark. He went to ground at the heavy knock. Sebastopol rushed it forward, but numbers will favour Redan. Scrubby kick will work out in the end. Handball over the top. Left a bit to be desired, but it'll work out nicely. Opportunity here for Pittard. Gave it off to teammate Clark, and he pops it through.
Good movement by Redan again. Look, when it works, it works. They're so aggressive and they're so fast on the outside. I would like to see them try and slow the game down a little bit. Maybe what Mark Gregg could do is move a spare defender back and just say, look, boys, I'm not sure you can actually manage this within our current structure. I'll try and help you out by giving you a spare defender, and then just still allow them to attack. But look, when it works like that, it looks good.
Wonderfully called, Sam Young. Lee Pittard has 2 for the night. Redan 6-2-38, trailing Sebastopol 16-7. 103 on the Metro scoreboard. Play back underway in the middle of the ground. Hutt tried to grab it out of the ruck. Wasn't able to do so. Sebastopol good enough to win the clearance. It'll be his brother, though, Ben Hutt. Taps it to Hommelhoff. McKay has tried hard for Redan tonight, and he got in and won that clearance. Gave it back to Bond. Over to Gunser. So a bit of run here from Redan. And it's this man who's been very impressive on their behalf in a losing side, Bailey McKay, who wins the footy and able to kick it back to Bell. Goes laterally to that last goal kicker in Pittard. He plays on quickly. So all of a sudden Redan have the numbers, and it's the first gamer for Redan in Hutchinson. Has a bounce, goes down centre wing, kicks long towards full forward. Pack will fly. Ball spills over the back, and the veteran Luke Keel will clear.
So Keel will give off to his great mate Lockyer. Right foot kick towards centre wing. We'll find the loose target there in Hommelhoff. Centre wing on the broadcast side, right in front of us here at the wonderful Marty Bush Reserve. Hommelhoff just slows things down.
Lockie McLean for Redan has getting back from the wing, and he's trying to be a spare. That's what's held Sebas up.
Give it to Buckley. He knows one way. He attacks the corridor. What a kick. He's getting the loose man in Hutchinson half forward. He'll chip it over the top towards the full forward position. And the mark is taken by, guess who? Adam Forbes. And he pops it through. How about the kick from Buckley, though?
Yeah, I think there was a mistake in coverage of Toby Hutt, the Sebas ruckman there. I can see Taj Bond and Ben Crellin sort of giving each other the signal for Redan, as if to say, was I meant to be on him? Were you meant to be on him? Both of them were actually inside forward 50. It meant that Toby Hutt was all by himself in the centre. That allowed them to get free and move the ball through the middle.
Well, I think what Bond was trying to do there was push forward to create some kind of target up forward, and just got caught on the overlap. So he's trying to be all things to all people, is Taj Bond. But as you said, communication breakdown, goal Sebas. They've got 17 now. 17-7, 109, 6-2-38 Redan, Metro scoreboard. The D2E Gyms from Delacombe to Wendouree. You're never too far from a D2E gym. You're never too far from a hut at Sebas either, as he kicks the ball long into the forward line. Minari dropped perhaps what he could have taken. Ball spills to ground. Sebas able to clear through Bond. Overlapping handball missed its target. Good enough to win back through Gunser. His handball missed the target. Pittard, who's been impressive tonight for Redan, got caught with a footy, and the umpire said, let's throw the ball in. Out of side, near that second oval here at Marty Bush. We've played around 8 minutes in the third quarter.
Just an example there. Redan got the ball at half back and did 4 handballs that really went nowhere and just put their teammates under pressure. I would have liked to see them just kick that one long.
Ball in. Franklin will win in the ruck on this occasion. Spills at the back. McKay, strong. Couldn't quite gather though. Now Sebastian have a chance coming through. Keel. Handball way to Hommelhoff. Stepped through a whoopie tackle and retreated with the hand pass. Raven will go down the middle. Big fist over top came from Barker to bring it to ground. Lawson got it away to Gunser. Now opportunity from Clark to give it off. Redan get chained through hand pass through the middle. Off into McKay. Inside 50 over the top. Lang, right foot snap. Doesn't have the distance. Falls in the square.
Oh, well done.
A well played in defence by the Borough. As they keep it alive remarkably. Long kick will come out from Raven towards centre wing. Keel. Shield the light, took the mark on his chest. Looks laterally. We can go to the short pass to find Banbury, defensive side of the centre of the Marty Bush Reserve.
So Jack Banbury, and once again he hits up an easy target. Tony Lockyer working hard, but beautiful intercept coming in from the side. He's been quiet tonight as Harry Lawson, but geez, Lockyer did all the hard work, got free, and Lawson came out of nowhere for Redan and took a difficult mark. Well done. He kicks forward, looking for Bond. Good mark overhead. Taken in front of the Sebas defence is Bond. He goes onto that right boot, kicks long at the 50, and a strong mark overhead. We haven't seen much of this man, Callio. He's done some nice things from time to time. There's nothing of him, and he's marked around 40 metres from goal on the slightest of angles.
I feel like he's been dangerous every time they've kicked to him. The difference is Redan just don't kick very much. They're a handballing team. We saw 7 handballs through the middle before. They're actually the lowest marking team in the competition. They've only taken 60 marks. The next lowest is 70. They've got to kick forward more.
Good set of hands, a good confidence booster though for the future of Redan. Cleo coming the right foot kick. Splits the middle, no problem. He'll get Redan 7th of the evening, 7-2-44 on the Metro scoreboard. Sebas lead though, 17 goals, 7, 109 as we're approaching time on in this third term. Brad McGowan, I want your thoughts on who's leading the race for the Sporting Globe Player today.
Well, Edwards for Sebas was certainly on top for most of the game, or has been on top for most of the game, although Felix Henderson for Sebas is brilliant. He's been constantly having an influence. Tony Lockyer off halfback's been very good for Sebas. Buckley. Even Luke Keel started to really get a move on in this quarter.
Completely agree with all those comments, Brad. I think you've absolutely nailed it for One Life Insurance. All thrown up in the middle of the ground. Hutt, he's been good tonight. 2 wins it down. Gets it out to Clark for Redan, intercepts. Comes back to to Lee it was, Lawson. Ball comes out wide, back over in the direction of Clark for Redan. Goes on to his left boot. Met solidly after he kicked it. The play will come. Ball will come downfield to Grant Bell. He plays on quickly for Redan. Kicks long towards that last goal kick at Kelly Owen. Lucky not to be paid the mark. Ball spills to Grant and it'll be a ball up 40 metres from the Redan goal.
Just impressed with their last couple of passages of ball movement. They've actually kicked it instead of just constantly handling. They kicked it forward. That was a mark to Kelly then, I reckon. It's looked better, their ball movement, when they kick it more often.
So Hutton Crellin neutrally down. Keel will get the clearance, but we'll come back with interest. Lawson's been good since going to half back. Handball to Petruni. Right foot kick will go towards full forward, towards the tallest player out there in Bond, but he's beaten to it. Nice mark taken deep in defence by Phillips.
Had some nice things, Luke Phillips.
Yeah, he has. He just held the position against Bond there, didn't he? Well.
Sebas will go towards the other side through Wilkinson. Pass was good, finds his way to Hutt. Overlap ball was good. Initially off to Buckley now. Right foot kick from Sebas towards full forward. Slipped to the grass to the intended target. And in the end, it's been ragdolled and through.
Free kick to Redan.
Free kick for Redan. I thought he might have held him without it. That's what the umpire saw as well. Free kick to the Lions on the last line of defence.
It's a McLean, I think.
Yeah, Banbury had all the momentum. He just grabbed hold of McLean's jumper as the ball went towards the goal square. And so it'll be that man, McLean for Redan. Left foot kick out towards Lasso territory. No, it'll be on the full. So no one got their hand of that. Immediate turnover, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, unfortunate kick by Lockie. He's usually a pretty accurate kick, but hasn't had the boots on today.
He's done it a couple times now.
What's the word down the bench, Sam Treasure?
There's quite a quiet mood, to be honest, Roger. There's not heaps of action, I'll say.
So the oomph seems to have gone out of the game a little bit as that kick from Sebas finds a target, and that man, before this week, he was the leading goal kicker in the competition, Adam Forbes. So I'm not sure how that looks now after today's action. This is going to take all of his kicking power, though. He's right on the boundary line. He's gone the check side. Just comes inside the goalpost through from behind. So Sebasco to 17-8, 110. Redan 7-2-44 on the Metro scoreboard.
Dunster goes quickly from the kick out. And when it's not Unite, it's not Unite. One of the best users in the entire competition has coughed it straight up. This bloke needs an invitation. Edwards marks 25 metres out on a slight angle.
Of all the people to kick it to.
Edwards again, he just read it well. Snuck inside Lockie McLean, who was waiting for the ball flat-footed, but the kick was, didn't have enough oomph in it. It sat in the air too long, and Edwards picked it off.
So Joel Edwards starts his approach down the runway to make it a handful here at the Marty Bush Reserve. Will he go left? Will he go right? He goes left, and he goes good. He has 5 here at the Marty Bush Reserve under lights.
Yeah, Joel Edwards continuing to grow into this season, and the Sebas forward line can do no wrong at the moment, although I shouldn't question Adam Forbes, but he did try a check side from 45 out. It's a long way for a check side to travel.
Yeah.
But he's kicked far more goals than I ever will, or did, so he would know.
But Sam Young, you're not looking surprised by the attempted check side.
Not at all. Not even one minute. As soon as he gets the ball inside 50, the word pass just alleviates the brain. It just disappears. It vanishes.
I was just thinking drop punt would have been a better option.
So was I, Brad McGowan, as the ball's thrown up in the middle of the ground. Hutt wins it out, down to Henderson. Gosh, I'd love to see his numbers tonight. Over to Ben Hutt. He tried to do too much. In the end, he's going to be pinged for holding the ball. Free kick going the way of Redan, and it's going to go the way of Crellin, I think, there.
Yeah, Henderson's definitely the target at every centre bounce stoppage, and Hutt finds him regularly.
That's actually Hutchison in the end for Redan. He kicks out in the direction of Pittard, not able to mark the ball. Ball goes to ground. Pittard goes back in and is tackled. It'll be a ball up right on centre wing. No, a free kick it looks like. It's going to be a high tackle free kick, and it's going to go the way of Pittard.
It's been one of the Lions' best. A couple of goals as Redan continue to.
Oh, a bit of a scuffle on behind play again.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as the short ball goes wide, and opportunity for Redan to thump it inside 50 for the long ball, looking for Bonds. Getting back was Hutt as a good ruckman should do, brought to ground. Coming through there at ground level was the debutant Chadwick. He was unable to break the tackle. A stoppage inside forward 50 for Redan. It's a good result to hold some territory. There's 7 goals, 244 on the Metro scoreboard. So that's 18 goals, 8, 116 lead the way as we go quickly in the ruck. Hutt beats Bonds to this one, knocks it almost a clear D50, which it does in the end. It might come back with interest though. Hand pass in the direction again of Chadwick, but he's walked over the line. We'll get a ball in from a boundary throw in 40 metres out from goal for Redan.
Some of the pressure around the pack seemed to have dropped off a little bit, but there's still little spot fire scuffles every now and then. People getting thrown to the ground constantly. There's still a bit of feeling in the game. It's just some of the intensity's gone out of it with their level of pressure overall.
Redan certainly haven't thrown up the white flag as Taj Bond grabs the ball out of the ruck, fires it goal. That agility. Brad McGowan's incredible. He's missed on this occasion through from behind. Redan 7-3-45. Sebas 18-8. 116.
He just finds ways to keep the scoreboard ticking over out of the ruck. Very impressive.
So the coach of Sebas, Tony Lockyer, takes the kick in and kicks to Buckley. Jack Buckley has been very impressive tonight. It's his at Marty Bush Reserve, the St Joseph's Geelong recruit. He comes up the middle of the ground. It would look like he was held. It didn't matter because he marked it anyway.
Wowee. And he wheels around to, we don't know if it's preferred or non-preferred left boot. Inside 50, looking for Minari. It spills out the back. The Redan defence under all types of pressure. So he tries to get towards the line. They have numbers in support. Cruiser-Riders will go over the top. McLean is walked over. And the umpire will say, gone. Hold the ball.
Yeah, again, just 1, 2, 3 handballs, too many, and then they get caught. They need to kick the ball more often.
So I think it's Luke Keel that's got it, 50 from goal.
Explain for the listeners at home why you think it's Luke Keel and you don't know it's Luke Keel.
There's a giant coach's box right in front of me. I have absolutely no idea. He goes short, though, to the leading lane. Mark's taken inside 50 by the Ballarat.
Well, you were right. It was Luke Keel, so well guessed.
It was a good guesstimation that he would be applying that kind of tackling pressure on half forward. Opportunity here for Sebastopol to have a shot at goals. We try to straighten things up as we approach the 3/4 time siren.
So Felix Henderson, he has this within his bag, I'd say. He's quite a long kick.
Left-footed too, so the angle might favour him for his third. Kick aside its way, it was always near side. It was almost a weird sort of ball drop, Brad McGowan. He's almost threw it too far in front of himself and caught up with it and stuck it through from behind.
Yeah, he's a bit better when he's running at top speed, and we've seen him do that plenty of times on the run today.
So it'll be Lawson out of fullback for Redan. It's been a better quarter for Redan. They've kicked 4 goals this quarter. Nothing to be sneezed at. And Sebastopol will win plenty of games this season as Trinity drops what he should have taken, kicks down the middle, putting his teammate under awful pressure. It's going to be a free kick going the way of Sebas, and it's going to go the way of Stewart in the end. Callum Stewart. Haven't seen a great deal of him tonight, but he's part of a very impressive Borough lineup. He kicks long into the forward line. Spoil came. Tackle was laid on Fletcher, and the umpire will come in and ball the ball up on centre half forward.
That's that man, Lockie McLean, from the wing for Redan, dropping back into the hole, at least making it harder for Sebas to get those easy marks.
So inside forward 50 just for Sebas. Hutt wins in the ruck. Couldn't quite find a teammate initially. Redan get the turnover through Petruni. Spit it wide with a hand pass where they can get on that overlap run, which they've done a few times on the outer side. Pittard stuck the arm out, so was that his pride? No, high tackle, says the umpire. Thought initially maybe a free kick when you stick the arm out for a fend off, but the tackle reached over the shoulder, and a free kick will go the way of the Lions. It's actually Gunser who goes inboard. Left foot pass. All a good 150 metres away from our broadcast position. Under the beautiful lights here at the Marty Bush Reserve for round 3 action in the Ballarat Footy League. And Redan have it on centre wing. Ball towards half forward. Too tall for an intended target. Easy pickings there for Buckley. So he'll front one into the middle of the Marty Bush Reserve. He only knows one way. He finds the target in Minari. He'll play on quickly. Right foot kick to half forward. It's good. Forbes had a man stream for him inside 50, which he found. The mark's taken by Fletcher, and he'll line for his second inside 50, about 35 metres out.
Yeah, Yeah, just good ball movement and a zigzag sort of pattern there. Redan did have players straight down the line, so Sebas had to go off the line each time to find a forward. We're able to go round Redan's defence.
Guess who again? It was Buckley, the one that bit one off into the corridor, and he doesn't miss them either when he does. It's so damaging.
Yeah, it's a beautiful display of ball movement by Sebas.
So Jacob Fletcher, he has 1 goal tonight. Averages about a goal a game, so he's looking to boost that average off a couple of steps. Crowd loves it, players love it, and most importantly, the goal umpire does. Jacob Fletcher has his second for the evening, and the Borough kick away again this quarter. They go to 19 goals, 8-1-22, leading Redan 7-3-45 on the Metro scoreboard.
And this ball movement that Sebas are doing isn't something new to them. Tony Lockyer has preached this and tried to demonstrate this himself off half-back, and Luke Keele for years. It just feels like they have even more weapons this year to be able to execute the ball movement. And the forwards, they're not necessarily any better up there than what they were in previous years. Their delivery is so good now that they're just very, very hard to stop because of this ball movement.
And as a result of that, Tony Lockyer has always been that swing man, hasn't he, Sam Young, in terms of moving back or forward where needed, but he doesn't need to now. He can just play his role in defence.
Yep.
And he's done that well tonight as play gets back underway in the middle of the ground. Hutt goes in, that's Ben Hutt. Henderson's in there as well. Looks like it's going to be a repeat call-up.
Been a wonderful evening for the Borough faithful here at the Marty Bush Reserve. We're not done yet. The final term, the first clearance will go the way of Redan, though, towards the vacant centre wing on the broadcast side. And, you know, that means, boys, no one touched it. So Lasso, free kick will go the way of the Borough. Defence side centre wing on the broadcast side of the ground.
And it's that man we just spoke about, Holmes, the recipient of the free kick. He comes inboard and finds arguably the best man on the ground tonight, Henderson for Sebas. He kicks long to half forward. Little Hell's going to put his arms out as if he was held. He was good enough to go back and win the footy. Some heavy contact laid by Cruiseratus, both of them actually. Kick off the ground by Lockie Clark, went to no advantage. Hommelhoff showed some class, tackled high. Umpire said, hold the ball. And as you could tell from Sam's response, it probably wasn't there.
Well, he got the handball away, I thought, but nevertheless, Redan get a bit of luck that they desperately need. Lang off to Clark, right foot kick off the boot was awful. Pitched inside forward 50, got out of bounds, so we'll get a boundary throw in the opening couple of minutes here of the final term. There was a correction at three-quarter time on the Metro score, but it's 19-9, 123 Sebas. They lead Redan 7-3-45.
Sam, you'll be pleased to know that the umpire's put his hat back on. Under Lions.
Well, the UVs always, get you at night, I've heard. Back underway here. Inside forward 50 for the Lions. Henderson got boots the ball. Didn't clear D50, was fisted back inside by Gunser. Backed only as far as Henderson, who shaked it back his way through traffic. Hoy dealt with Little Hales early, and in the end back him back with courage. A nice strong mark taken by Lawson, who's got better as the game's gone on in his first game in the seniors for 2026.
He has, and it was so courageous. He's cramping and unable to take his kick. Great job by Liam Hoy to clear Little Hales out of the way. Lawson is moving like a duck. He looks like his left leg doesn't work.
Get that pickle juice.
You don't have to go off after a stretch here, I would say.
So after all of that, Brad, he kicks off one step and kicks it out of bounds. Luckily for him, it was punched over, and it's not a lasso.
Look, I know he's cramping, but if you just look at the last two entries for Redan versus the normal entries for Sebas, Redan have been slow, down the line and out of bounds each time, whereas Sebas are going through the middle straight to their leading forward.
Ball comes back into play. Ben Hutt, I've liked his game tonight for the Borough. Kicks long towards half forward. Lovely mark, contested by arguably one of the smaller men on the ground in Garner. What a mark that was. That's a contender for mark of the night if I've seen it. He's knee-high to a grasshopper and nothing of him. He kicks then towards full forward in the direction of Minari. Got pushed under the ball a bit. Redan able to clear through Gunser, straight back into the hands of the big man, Toby Hutt.
Yeah, he's been super again, as Toby. Be one of the contenders for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day here this evening, as he goes with the right foot kick towards full forward. Edwards will get there late. Lawson in front again courageously. Did everything but complete the mark, said the umpire. Ball still alive. It's allowed to roll on. Hutchison cleared in the Gunster direction. He's caught in a keel tackle, and once he gets his vice grip on you, bad luck, you're not going anywhere. Ball up, true centre forward.
It was a great tackle by Keel, and it's almost a sort of big brother way that Luke Keel plays. It's like he just wants to prove every time he's the stronger man or the person with the most fight in the dog.
Block against Cruiseratus, goes the way of Hutt in the ruck, lace out, Edwards on the lead. Thank you very much. Nothing you do as a defender there. And for a big guy, we've already said it multiple times, how good is Toby Hutt by foot? He just popped that into a spot, knew to the cues his forward was, and of course spent so much time down there as a key forward himself. And he found Edwards on the lead, who can line up for goal number 6.
Most unenviable task tonight will be choosing the Sporting Globe Player of the Day, Sam Young.
Certainly will be. As Joel Edwards starts his approach. Little skip, goes with the left boot. It's going to go right to the line, and in the end he didn't. Out of the air. Hart was over the line before he got his boot on it, so a minor score, says the goal umpire. 19-10, 124 on the Metro scoreboard. That is Sebastopol leading Redan, 7-3-45.
Well, Lawson must have got some of that pickle juice that Sam Treasure is referring to, because he was able to take that kick out. Unfortunately for him, it's put his teammate under immense pressure. Redan good enough through Clark and McKay, and now Lang to get the ball out of trouble. So under pressure, and they got away with it, Redan. Now they've got a couple of players streaming forward. In the end, they look for the short option, find Daniel Bond. He kicks long into 54. Heavy contact laid on Lockyer. He didn't like it, and he gave a little fairy tap to the Redan player on the ground and said, "Hang on a second, mate, that's a bit rough." Picks up the footy and plays on it, turns it over, and a strong mark taken by Cruiseratus.
Cruiseratus did well there to get across in front of Hunt and take a strong mark. Handball off to Lawson. Looks left, looks right. Spearing ball's a good one towards half forward. Mark's paid for Petruni as he can send it inside forward 50. Uses the stand rule and gets away from a whoopie tackler. Bumps it towards full forward. Bond's got 2 to beat in the air, and in the end the numbers whoop of Al Phillips with the spoil. Sees it out of bounds. As we just keep an eye on...
Coming off under some duress.
Yeah, one for Sammy Treasure, keep an eye on the boundary, and you would imagine this situation, Brad McGowan, for one life assurance, that he's 0 risk taken if he is in a bit of trouble.
I think he's copped a knock.
There was a bit of contact with the Cruiseratus just off the ball. I'm not saying there was anything sinister in it, but it was a bit of a bump. I reckon it might have just got him in the wrong spot.
Yeah, you might be right.
As the Bass look to clear the ball out of defence, and they do so through Buckley. Look at that kick. He's kicked it 50 metres across the face of goal and found his coach in Lockyer, who picked the ball up and then got tackled straight away. The umpire paid holding the ball, which seems a bit rough. Long kick came from Pittard towards the goal square for Redan. Taj Bond dropped what he should have taken, and the ball spilled through for a behind. So,
yeah, it's almost the first time today that Redan have actually made Sebas pay, and they only kicked a point, but almost a goal, because Sebas were able to take their normal risky kick across the goal, as you suggested. A 50-metre kick across goal generally doesn't work. It sits in the air too long. It's good work by Redan to finally cut one off.
Down the middle goes Buckley with a long right foot kick. Edwards arrives late, almost spoiled it back about 20 metres as he went up to try to take the mark. And good tackle again at half forward by Redan, wins a free kick holding the ball. I think it's Petruni, the man that was applying it. In the number 25, right on 50. Kicked 3 goals in Redan's 1 win of the season against Lakers. Don't know if that's distance from here. So he might just sit up to the top of the square. Plays on, thumps it long. In the end, really does need up. It's too easy for the Sebastopol defence to get across there. And that's the one, Brad McGowan, where you wish you go quick, sit up top of the square, give the high flyers a chance, or if you've got the distance, go back and really make amends. He's done neither and sent it out of bounds.
Yeah, just the direction and the position the ball has been kicked to constantly when it's going inside the Redan forward 50 just hasn't been in a position that is very threatening. It has meant that the ball's gone out of bounds a lot, so they've at least been able to keep the ball inside their forward 50, and that's not a bad thing for Redan, because at least Sebastopol can't score from there.
Special comments by Brad McGowan for One Life Insurance. Beautiful hit up out of the ruck by Littlehales down to Buckley, handballed it on to a teammate in Lockyer. He's hurried kick out of the back line. They were suddenly under a bit of pressure, but how's the hit out from Littlehales there down to a Sebastopol teammate, and to that man Buckley, who's just been so good tonight. So Sebastopol slowing play down the now, comes inboard back to Buckley. So Buckley around 25 metres from the Redan goal. Most of the Redan forwards are in their own half, so pressing up quite high. So Buckley in the end just plays on, takes a bounce, kicks short and turns it over back to Pittard. Pittard plays on quickly and back to Taj Bond. Taj Bond plays on, goes round the corner. Misses. He had every chance. He had a man on the goal square by himself. He took it on himself and missed. So Redan 7-5 now. 47. Sebastopol 19-10, 124.
The difference is that Redan has been able to just hold them up on the mark and then cover off. So that the Sebastopol haven't been able to find 3 players coming out of the back line.
Sebastopol going to move through Ben Hutt. Links up with Banbury. The Borough can look to go towards the outer side with a spearing pass. Sliding in the mark will be paid by Hummelhoff. On true centre wing from virtually opposite our broadcast position. Continuing around was Banbury, which was superb. He'll go inside forward 50. Mark is taken. Right on the paint. Maybe too far out the score. So you can imagine this could be going top of the square territory, which it does. It's off the outside of the boot, and in the end, it's into the pocket and off hands out of bounds. So Benari, I think, might have been the target, but it's fisted out of play. So we'll get a ball in deep inside 54, Sebastopol.
Question without notice, Brad McGowan. Jack Banbury tonight hasn't been the most influential player on the ground, but has set very high standards in recent terms.
Yeah.
How have you assessed his game?
Oh, he's been good. He hasn't been the target of stoppage. He's been like the second possession, get a handball off, and he uses the ball very well in there. Yeah, I've liked his game.
Underway inside 450 for the Borough. Handball over the top in the direction of the dangerous Forbes. He almost slapped it to his advantage and to his teammates' advantage with a wonderful finish.
Henderson again.
How about that? It was Forbes initially with a knock over the shoulder. Henderson running around to that left side was so clever, so good with the finish. A bit of push and shove inside 50. You can only imagine the little forbers at the bottom of it. And a wonderful goal for the 20th of the night for the Borough. 2010, 130 leads, 7-5-47 on the Metro scoreboard.
This is a old-fashioned melee. There is most of the players in the game wrestling in the forward pocket here. Henderson's goal was brilliant, though, on his left. He was almost surprised that he kicked it himself.
Now, there should have been a free kick against Sebas in the middle, because while they were fighting, the umpire decided to throw the ball up, and as he did, the Sebas player ran into the square. Nonetheless, they have won their clearance by virtue of having more numbers inside the square, and it looks like it's going to be a repeat ball up.
To explain that to the listeners at home, and you hear about 6-6-6 in the AFL. Well, it was about 24 inside defensive 50 for Sebas. Attacking 50 for Sebas, still coming from that melee.
But regardless of how many you have in the square, once it's locked and the umpire starts his run, no one can come in. And the Sebas player clearly did Jack Banbury on that occasion, but the boundary umpire, unfortunately, was probably more concerned in looking back at that melee, Senior.
Certainly, as Felix Anderson kicked his third goal of the night. Edwards, of course, has 5 leading all-comers on the ground, but two boys from St. Joey's been massive, along with this man Buckley coming through. Right foot kick will go towards full forward. Big fly from Edwards will spill at the back. Where's the smalls for Sebas? They're queuing up. It's Henderson for number 4!
Missed.
Jeez, he's been good.
He sort of kicked it on an angle or around the corner almost, as a classic left footer does.
Is he on the Geelong VFL list?
I don't know. He should be on the AFL list the way they're going tonight, Sammy.
Don't say that too loud in front of Sam Young. That hand's gone over the eyes. He doesn't want to know what the AFL score tonight is involving Geelong. We'll update you very shortly for those listening in the car or at home as the ball comes inboard. Toby Hutt to Keel for Sebas. Over to that man Henderson. Just has the footy on a string at the moment. Back to big Toby Hutt. Goes inboard. Sebas able to intercept well through Cruiseratus. Well done to Lang. Handballs in the direction of Clark, but Lockyer uses all his experience for Sebas and is able to intercept that handball and slow play down, kick in the direction of Garner. Kick came over his head. Liam Hoy, the veteran of Redan, then kicks the ball along the ground out of bounds. It'll be a lasso free kick going the way of Holmes.
So opportunity here for Sebas to continue going forward. Drilling passes in the direction there of Edwards. He's just walked over the line out of bounds. Thanks to Go Vita, your local health store. I can tell you the Fremantle 13 points lead Carlton 7, and then Port Adelaide 63, Geelong 44. So we'll get back on the way to the action here at the Marty Bush Reserve. Hutt in the ruck, wins it down. Banbury coming through, couldn't quite gather. Gunser wrapped up in the tackle, almost chicken winged, and dumping tackle. The umpire had that 100% right. His head did touch the turf, and that's the right interpretation. So he goes quickly inboard, finds a target there in Ben Crallon. He'll spread it wide, and Redan will look to build it up towards their half-forward line. Fisted away by the Sebas defence. Foot race on. Bond led all comers, but then ran out of real estate. The big draft couldn't reel that one, and out of bounds it goes.
Roger, did you catch that Port Adelaide Geelong score? It was said very quickly.
Yes. Yeah, no. Would you mind repeating that one for us, Sam?
Was it Port Adelaide by 20?
Port Adelaide are winning. That's a lot. By 63 to 40.
63
there you
to
go. Thank
44.
You. Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that, Brad. Thank you for Go Vita, your local Ballarat health store, as Sebas win the clearance, and Hommelpot says, let's slow it down, boys. Let's run down this clock. And he goes out to Henderson. If he hasn't had 30 touches tonight, I'll go he. He plays on. Kicks into the centre of the ground and finds Keel. Really liked his game tonight. He's back and forward. Well, he played more as a mid-forward tonight than the traditional midfielder, but it's been very influential. Kicks in short and finds teammate Fletcher. He has a couple on to his name tonight as well. He's been good. In the end, he goes long. 50-metre kick. In the direction of Forbes, coming in from the side.
Lockyer.
The coach. We spoke about the swingman, the Swiss Army knife, as you like to refer to him, Sam Young, and now he's going to have a shot at goal.
In the end, he was just knew where the ball drop was going to be, Brad McGowan, and I think he might have been slightly lucky. He had two hands out. He could have probably been in the back, maybe.
I don't think Adam Forbes is too impressed. I think he thought that was mine.
No, well, it was in his arc, and that's what he was thinking was goals. But
there's one player on the team that he can't spray, and that's the coach.
Yes, he's true.
Lockyer, so he had to just shut his mouth and go back to his position.
And that's the best analysis you've ever given for one life insurance right there. For some reason, I don't think Forbes is going to take the advice. As Lockyer comes in for his second, and a rare miss in front of the big sticks for him.
Maybe he should have told him about it.
20
me next time.
Maybe he still will.
20 goals, 12, 132 on the Metro scoreboard. That's Sebas. Redan 75-47. Can they keep it under 100 points? As Gunter plays on quickly from fullback and goes long towards the outer side. Big fist from Sebastopol will bring it to ground where they can go to work. Hutt of the Ben variety will look for his brother and Toby. Takes the mark on Truce in the wing, virtually opposite from our broadcast position. He looks to transition across. Got a balk bond on the mark and in the end got himself into a pickle. Hacked up the deck there by Banbury to gain territory. More in hope than anything. Redan gets the numbers around it, but they can't seem to gain clean possession. Sebas come away with it towards the full forward position. At ground levels, Forbes gave the handball off. Unselfish to Hummelhoff. Over the Gardner. He can run in. Outside the boot and bend it too much for a minor score. Where was the left footer?
Did I hear you say a handball from...
Yes, inside 50 as well. The lunar eclipse is coming too, boys.
Just a wry smile on Snipson's face here on the bench. Of course, Freebie zone at that miss.
So Liam Hoy, the veteran from Redan, plays on, kicks the ball outside 50, defensive 50 that is. Strong fist came back from Keel. Henderson, what a pick-up. And then goes on to his opposite boot and finds O'Shea. He's doing everything tonight, is Henderson. O'Shea was very good early. He has died out a little bit in the second half, but a lot to like about his game. Predominantly played on the wing tonight, and he's going to test himself with a kick from outside 50 now. So
he's a good long kick at the footy, though.
Hard to believe he's played 73 games now, Connor O'Shea. Has been around for a while for the Borough. Not a noted goal kicker. Loops around, and as called by Sam Young, thank you! Oh, I reckon that got over the line. It's a goal! Connor O'Shea, what a ripper! From outside 50, he would have kicked that from 55 metres, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, beautiful long kick right in front of the crowd too, like next to the boundary line. So they rode the kick, had the best view of it. Taj Bond leapt as high as he possibly could on the goal line, but must have just been centimetres over the line when he touched it. Great goal to O'Shea, another goal to Sebas.
12 individual goal kickers for the evening for the Borough. 21 on the Metro scoreboard in total. It's been
beautiful kick.
It's been a massacre on the scoreboard in some shape or form. It feels like the game at times has been closer than you think, but Sebas's class and skill and maybe a rival becoming the real deal in 2026 is coming to the forefront here at the Marty Bush Reserve. As neither ruckman touch it, so we'll go again. Quick kick forward by Redan, should be marked and missed by Raven, who's done a couple of nice things in a lockdown role behind the footy. Former Lake Winder Reed Jr. Spent some time at Carna Linton, the Central Highlands, before coming to Sebas last year. Found his captain in Hutt. Goes inside 50. Forbes in the lead. Won't get there. Ball hits the turf. Opportunity to go ground level for Fletcher. From a standing start. Right foot around the body. Has it got the distance? Getting back to Gardner. Dropped the mark in the square. It's still alive, remarkably. It's a raffle if they can work it out. It was smothered in line by Hoy. Still alive as Forbes. Stripped of it, shake the bait, around the body. Don't tell me. He can't, can he? That is ridiculous. Adam freaking Forbes. Thank you very much.
It was a beautiful snap goal from, say, 20 metres out. It went 25 metres high and just fell over the line. It wasn't spinning properly, but good goal to Sebas. I've liked Fletcher's game. He's been the sort of higher of the key forwards, like marking, say, up around or between the arcs, say, and then kicking deeper into Edwards, etc. But they've just had so many good key position players today. It's been so hard for Redan the way the ball's been coming in.
I like to describe him as a key forward because he just plays bigger than he actually his size dictates. He's got good aerial leaves, he's good at ground level, good fast speed, and great to see him get a good run at senior footy after a couple of years of injury concerns.
22-13, 145 Sebas, Redan 7-5-47 on the Metro scoreboard. That goal will take some topping in terms of goal of the year. That was a super goal and beautifully called by Sam Young as Redan win the clearance, and Taj Bond, who's worked hard for them tonight, he kicks long. Looking to the lead. Could have been a free kick up for, I thought, to Redan. Umpire said play on. Lockyer comes out of defence for Sebas, finds a teammate in Hummelhoff, the Hoff, and he's going to get a 50-metre penalty. Sam Young nods his head and says, I know why, I don't.
Yeah, it was just protected zone. Coming through was Kyle Hutchison there, so...
He's been good tonight, the Night Rider. He'll take this kick from centre wing. Found Banbury all by himself outside 50.
Banbury will wheel around, sit up into the pocket. Hudson unopposed. Front on contact, no. He turns the umpire and says, surely.
I don't think Hutt actually went aggressively enough at the ball.
Yeah.
He just thought, Taj Bond, the Redan ruckman, has got his back to the play. If I just jump up sort of half-heartedly, I'll get a free kick. But he didn't actually make a realistic play on the ball, so the umpire said, no, I'm not giving you the free.
We're deep into now the final term here at the Marty Bush Reserve. Bond wouldn't win it down the ruck. It's fisted out of the fence there by Hutchison. It might come back with interest though. So that's what the numbers around the footy as it spills off hands and goes out of bounds. A little tidbit for the evening game tonight is that Redan are yet to kick a goal towards the Velodrome end.
There you go.
Failed to do in the second term, failed to do one in this quarter thus far. Don't look likely as Sebastopol marching towards a 100-point win, you feel. Hutt in the ruck, took it out of the air, got it forward just in time. Ben Hutt will send it inside 50, and Homoff takes the mark.
The Hoff has been pretty good tonight, boys.
You can see why he was such a high prize recruit when they got him last year. Obviously, he was coming off an ACL injury, so it's taken some time for him to just build back up that match fitness. Played a few games last year, he's played both games to start this year, and his numbers are really lifted, and you can see why they were so big when they got him across from the Bendigo Footy League. So Homoff starts his approach from 40 metres out, right for kick is on its way. He's got it. No problem at all. 23-13, 151 to 75-47. And
goal kicking has been no hassle for the Hoff today.
No, he's been good and he's been a great recruit. And you just look across that Sebastopol lineup, Brad McGowan, in terms of line to line. They haven't had... there's strength in every line, isn't there? Like, he's played himself on a wing. The defenders have done the lockdown job, and their forwards, well, we've said plenty about them tonight.
Well, when we thought about the losses in the off-season, Hugo Paps was a really important key sort of mid-sized forward for them. The O'Keefe boys. We thought there was a couple of the Hill, etc. off half-back. We thought they had some significant losses, but I think this is the best Sebastopol team we've seen.
I would agree with you. As ball's thrown up in the middle, looks like it's going to be a repeat stoppage. No, ball came out there eventually. Hurried kick forward by Redan, but didn't go anywhere other than into the arms of Tony Lockyer for Sebastopol. Kicks it out in the direction of Henderson, who's been absolutely superb tonight. His kick hits the target. It's Banbury. Plays on the right boot. Leading. Manari fell over. Umpire said he was pushed. I thought he just tripped on his own feet. The umpire says no advantage. So it'll be Ash Manari, who I think Brad McGowan has played a really unselfish game tonight. He's been willing to share the ball around. There's been a couple of occasions he probably could have had a shot himself. But he's been very unselfish.
Yeah, definitely agree. He's just played his role. And there's an example of him being unselfish there.
Just chips it laterally inside forward 50 and shot and goal coming up for Lockyer again.
So Lockyer, the coach, getting forward and saying, I wouldn't mind to get my name on the score sheet.
Well, he already has one tonight. He's going for two.
He's been hanging around the forward line.
Junk time, Tony.
Yeah, that's right.
He won't like that.
That'll get back.
Yeah, he's undecided from this spot, actually.
He's played a wonderful game.
Yeah, it's just seeing him full-time across half-back again. You can see why he was, so good in the VFL for the Roosters. And then coming back to Sebastopol, being an absolute legend and champion of this club. The coach, the leader, the man. He has to.
Crowd likes it too. Sam Young as the score ticks over now, 24-13.
They are hailing him in the left forward pocket. Look at the fans. They are hailing the great man after that goal.
Redan 7-5-47. You better go to your stat sheet and see what the highest score Sebastopol ever kicked against Redan. And I mean that quite sincerely.
Yeah.
Like, this is getting into 157 is a seriously good score, Brad McGowan, in a game of this length.
So Ash Manari guarantees a game next week by kicking the ball to the coach there.
And you wouldn't get
Tony a goal.
He's a guy who's kicked 100 goals multiple times in country footy.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
No, he's a seriously good forward.
He is.
In the twilight of his career, but he's very handy for this Sebastopol side.
So Cruiser Artisan doing the ruck work for Redan. It didn't make any difference though, because Sebastopol are going to win the clearance, and that's going to be Felix Henderson with the ball in his left boot. Beautiful kick, finds Keel. Gosh, he's used the ball well tonight, Henderson. Keel hits the leading man, Manari. Wasn't able to take it, but he's good enough to pick up the ball on the bounce. Goes back onto a check side kick in no one's real direction. Young Garner, who's got some foot speed about him, leads in the race and then overruns the ball. McKay came in for Redan. Garner's gone down quite heavily behind play. I'm not sure what happened there. McKay goes back in for Redan. Well done. Handball out to Catley. Wasn't able to pick up cleanly. Catley goes back in for Redan. Gets a handball or a throw. The umpire says it was a throw, and it's going to go the way of Sebast to Felix Henderson. Sam, any word on that highest ever score from Sebast against Redan?
Yeah, well, they did kick 199 points against them in 1999, so I don't think they'll get there, but this might be a second, I reckon.
So 1999, yeah, that was back in the days when Redan were really struggling.
And Minari tries to level things up inside to the leading target there in Hummelhoff. He retreats back towards Henderson, who's got to be in Sporting Globe Player of the Day territory.
Yeah.
Clearing kick from Redan will go down the line, and the mark is taken.
Callio, he's been really good tonight, I reckon.
I like him. There's a lot to like. I think he'd be one for the future for this footy club, no doubt. A lot of senior footy to come. He's long kicked down the lines off hands from Phillips, who's also been of the likeable type, and he spills that one out of bounds. Basketball background, not natural football, a second sport, but then has really become an Asia's defender in the last couple of seasons.
As soon as the ball's kicked up high, he's just going to attack the ball in the air. Does well.
We'll go back on the way here, in between half forward and centre wing on the broadcast side for Redan. Can I get one towards the Velodrome man? Handball over top there by Daniel Bond was clever. Opportunity here for Elliot Bushell. Running inside 50. Should kick it, and he does. Nice finish.
Great goal to Michelle and breaks the Velodrome end curse for Redan. First goal at that end of the ground, and it's come very late in the game.
Yeah, we're certainly deep into red time now. They moved 8 goals, 5-53 on the Metro scoreboard. Sebast 24-13, 157. I'd like to say what the time was exactly here if I looked at the scoreboard, but unfortunately the clock doesn't work. And if there's anyone listening that knows a little bit of Mandarin and can read the instructions, we'd love to see it fixed. That's all I'm going to say.
The scoreboard isn't working all that well. Some of the numbers are sort of half there.
Well, if you just rocked off the ground and you didn't know how footy works, you'd read it as 57 to 153, but it's 157 on the Metro scoreboard to 53.
Play back underway. Hutt wins the hit out. Sharked by Trooney. Escaped the middle, went onto that left boot. Forward for Redan. Bonds there. And another goal coming up, this time from Callio, and well earned too. He snapped it over his right shoulder. That curse has been well and truly broken for Redan. They've kicked a second down that end for the evening from the boot of Callio. And they go to 9-5-59 the Metro scoreboard. Sebast 24-13, 157 for One Life Insurance. Brad, you can't fault young Callio. He's had a go tonight.
He certainly has. He's so athletic. He's tall and athletic, so if you can give him a run and jump at the ball or give him the ball in a bit of space, he looks quite dangerous.
Can't be long left here at the Marty Bush Reserves. But on to Redan. They've been able to get the margin under 100 points. With a couple of late goals here, respectively to Bushell and Callio. Hutt and the ruck will win it down. And on the fly, McKay coming through was good. Handball in the direction there of Bushell. His handball was partially smothered as Sebast tried to rebound from the half-back line. Quick kick forward will come from the lines inside forward 50. Out of there.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a mark. That should have been a mark.
Can you pay the mark if you kick it out of the air, the Sebastopol player? Then
well,
mark?
It was only his body that touched it.
Well, I don't know. I'm not an advocate for the rules. I don't know that one. But so is that a mark, Roger?
To explain to the listeners, the ball,
I was so lost for words I couldn't even describe it.
The ball came into a one-on-one contest, and the Sebast player put his left leg. He was standing on the left-hand side, put his leg out, kicked the ball, and it went over the top to the right-hand side.
And then he marked it.
And he marked it himself.
Has to be a mark, Sam Young.
So it went over both of their heads, and he marked it. I don't know how he did it.
Play comes back in from that boundary throw in. Keel, Lockyer, Banbury, Raven. Banbury in the middle of the ground now, has one arm grab, but able to get a quick kick, went nowhere. Henderson again for Sebastopol. How did he do that? Tapped it to himself, then kicked it over his shoulder back to Banbury. Ball in the centre square now. Hommelhoff. Handball missed the target. Fletcher's got enough time to go back and kicks to the left-hand side. He had all the time in the world and ended up kicking it behind. So Sebast 24-14, 158. Redan 9-5-59 on the Metro scoreboard.
Felix Henderson has that Scott Pendlebury sort of time and space.
He does, doesn't he? And just, Bontempelli look.
Yeah, he looks like Bontempelli, but he's just never under pressure. He just takes his time and does these dinky little kicks to people that always hit the target.
Just seems like he's too good for the standard of the competition. As Lawson plays on fullback and handballs to Catley, who has to try to clear D50 with pressure. Minari backing back. Wonderful mark.
I saw his head hit the ground then.
And he can send Sebastian to attack maybe for a final time in the game. Spearing ball. Keel waits down. Keel gets at the back and he dribbles through his third. Whipper has 3. The Borough have 25 and they've restored a 105-point lead here at the Marty Bush Reserve.
Yeah, it's just all happening too easy, unfortunately, for Sebast. Redan's young players just haven't got the strength of will, the strength of mind, or just the physical strength, really, to be able to arm wrestle like they need to be able to. Sebast are going to score some big scores, boys, but, yeah, it's unfortunate. Redan is still a young side.
Well, they didn't have their kicking boots on last week. I think it was like 20-something behind Sebastian against Ballarat. So that was their warning shot of what they can do. They've delivered tonight with a Metro scoreboard reading 25 goals, 14, 164 to 9-5, 59.
It's been a 6-2 last quarter so far as Bond comes streaming through the middle for Redan and handballed it to a stationary player. Kick was able to come forward quickly, but it's put the forwards for Redan under pressure, and as a result, the coach, Tony Locker, goes back in to clean up. He actually had the ball taken out of his hands then by Callio. Back to Clark, who snapped it goal. And is it a mark or is it on the full? The umpire's going to pay the mark. And it's going to go the way of young Callio, I think, Sam Young.
I think it's Taj Bond actually deep in the right foot pocket in the dying embers of this one here.
Very hard to see from here, I must say.
Yes.
Yeah, Callio used his speed to set that up, though.
So Bond is going to go check side. Yes, he is. It wasn't a bad effort of the Boots, but in the end, it's across the face, and the umpire says minus scores. 9 goals, 660 on the Metro scoreboard to 25 goals, 14, 164.
Siren! Yep, we're hearing it. Sam?
We can hear it through the effects mic. I think the siren's in,